Max, got to get rid of the pre-show jitters. Yeah, so Storey's doing something right now. He was a little torqued up, to say the least. So I'm actually making this up, but who knows? He might be doing it. Hetzer, dude, I tied as well, man. I thought all my matchups were decided, and I forgot there was a matchup I was against Devin Singletary. Like, I was up by whatever, 19.6 in PPR. Fucker gets 19.6. So I had a buy locked up, essentially, if I won. Now I have to win next week against the team that's in third place to get a buy. It's not looking good. I have a couple guys on buy because week 14, the NFL likes to have, their last bye week of the year a week before the fantasy playoffs. So stupid, man. What a disadvantage to these teams with week 14 buys. Hetzer, I'd rather have a loss than a tie, honestly. Like, fuck the ties. We were talking about the Younghoe Koo kick in the chat. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. Let me just text Storey and see what he's doing. Max, on a positive note, going to be 12-2 on a 5-game win streak into my playoffs this week. Dude, Max, I can't believe that they have playoffs starting week 14. Like, you got to change that next year. Hold on, texting Storey. The invite at 7. That's just so stupid. Like, you should never. Then you would never want to draft McCaffrey or Tet McMillan and these players. Drake May, these players that have week 14 buys. So lame, dude. So lame. They should have just never even played Jackson Dart in general, Hetzer. I don't understand why they're doing these things. And this isn't even Brian Daboll. Like, that's definitely a Brian Daboll move that he would have done. But I don't know, man. He just takes a beating game after game. Like, that hit was funny. Like, it was a dirty hit, but it was a clean hit. The one on the sideline in the first quarter. Like, it's an unwritten rule kind of, but I think, you know who we can blame for this? Blame Patrick Mahomes, because they mentioned in the broadcast that they're advising these quarterbacks, like, get out of bounds. Don't try to get the extra 2 yards and, like, tiptoe the sideline, because you will get crunched, and they're not going to call it, which they shouldn't call it. But, like, that's definitely a cheap shot. It just happened to be a legal cheap shot. But, like, Jackson Dart, man, like, you're not playing for anything this year. You're just trying to get better, and you're not going to get better if you're not in the game. So, like, if he's just risking himself, his body, his future for this Giants squad, like, I mean, you saw his reaction on the Younghoe Koo kick, just saying, like, what the hell? Like, what's going on here? This organization's a mess. That being said, man, I'm pretty high on the Giants going forward, and their prospects in the future next year. I like what they have there. I like Jackson Dart, man. I'm gonna take the L on that one. Coming out of college, I literally I'll tell you the quote. I called him Will Levis 2.0. That's not aging well, because Will Levis is terrible. Now, maybe Will Levis is better than he's shown because he was in the Titans, but it's rough for Will Levis. He gone, and it's really nice for Jackson Dart. I see a lot of promising qualities. One that isn't promising is he just doesn't give a shit about his body. And, like, look at a player like Cam Newton. Cam Newton did the same shit, where he just refused to get down, refused to, to slide, refused to go out of bounds, and his career was cut short 2 or 3 years, I want to say, maybe even more. We're still talking about Younghoe Koo. It was fucking awesome. That was awesome. Hey, Storey.
What's going on?
You in the shitter?
No, I told you 10:45. What?
Oh, my bad. I think we misinterpreted our text.
Oh,
I
said it for... do 10:45.
Yeah, I guess I just thought it was different because this game got over at like 9:50 somehow. Like, quickest game ever. What the hell was
weird? That? Thursday night was over really quick too.
This was a bad game. What about Younghoe Koo? Let's talk about Younghoe Koo. Have you ever seen that before?
I don't know. Point shaving. Like, I don't know what to make of that. Like,
dude, that was. Have you ever seen a kicker like whiff? Like, I've seen punters kick it off the side of their foot. I've seen weird things like that. Like, I've seen punters like kick it off their shin. I've never seen a kicker like whiff, and he missed by like a solid 10 inches. Like, he missed by a Ron Jeremy, dude.
I'm really surprised he's on a roster right now. No, I don't mean after tonight. I'm really surprised that he was on a roster coming into tonight. But yeah, no, I've never seen that before. That is wild. He was automatic for Atlanta for years there.
Because the angle, the field goal kicking angle is like from the end zone zoomed in, and I thought it was a fake because like it was like a weird delay, and then the holder reacted like it was a fake, and I was like, I didn't see that he whipped because he missed it by so much. I thought it was like a fake, and it was not a fake. Do you remember when Younghoe Koo was the most accurate field goal kicker in the NFL?
Well, that's what I was saying. He was automatic for Atlanta for years there.
And when I say most accurate, I'm not just saying that like a saying. Like he had the highest percentage of all time for his first 4 years of his career. But I guess for him, he didn't kick any long field goals because that dude could never kick outside of 38 yards. No, maybe 48 yards because
he had the benefit of kicking in a dome in Atlanta for many, many years.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to our two big things here for this game, and we will get to questions later. What do you got, buddy?
So I know that he's on bye next week, but Jackson Dart, I would be making plans without Jackson Dart for the rest of the year. The way that dude plays, I have a hard time believing that even though there's only 4 games left in his season, that he's going to stay healthy. I'm surprised that he came out of it without an injury. You know what? And I think he got 2 home games left. That turf, that whole stadium should be torn down. Like Tyrone Tracy went out with an injury today. It's just a bad vibe all around. I like Jackson Dart. I like that he makes plays, but he's not a guy that plays smart. And they were talking about it on the broadcast tonight too, about how they expect him to run less. I was worried that, you can't tell a lion not to roar. They're going to try to get him to run less. And then instead of just going out of bounds, he reaches and gets absolutely lit up on the sidelines. So
yeah, man. Well, what that means is they're just not going to call design runs for him. It doesn't mean he's not going to run because once he takes the snap, ball's in his court.
Yeah.
And you saw that tonight. Like in that run, I was mentioning before you got on, like all the quarterbacks are now getting lit up on these plays. They can all blame Patrick Mahomes for taking advantage of the system. He gamed the system forever when, he'd get the extra 3 yards because like sometimes the defenders would peel off. And now, like, they made the adjustment this year from watching the film of Patrick Mahomes just clowning these defenders that, like, they're allowed to crunch him. Like, that was a legal-ass play. It was dirty, but it was legal.
Yeah, it was completely legal. There was a lot of legal but less than stellar hits in tonight's game. Olszewski is going to be eating his next couple of meals through a straw, unfortunately.
Jesus, dude. He's like the guy from Shawshank, right? What the hell is his name? One of the sisters?
Banks? Is it Banks?
No, I don't know why I can't think of it.
Yeah, I can't think.
I had a big letdown night tonight, dude. Of course, Stephon Diggs doesn't even see the field in the first half. He played like 8 snaps in the first half. They're just rotating the receivers and then whatever. Okay, I lose the bet. And I thought all my matchups were fucking decided. Dude, I had a tie in Fantrax. Devin Singletary. I thought the matchup was over because I was up at like 19.6 and he only had Devin Singletary. Fucking Singletary scores 19.6.
Well,
unreal.
So there was 2 things going against you there. Number 1, they took Tyrone Tracy off for 3 full drives in a row for some reason. So he got the first drive, he got 2 carries, and then the next 3 drives were all Singletary. And I know because I got Tyrone Tracy in a bunch of places. And then at the end of the game, Tyrone Tracy looks good between the 20s. Everything's great. And then they design this really creative play, and it's going to Devin Singletary for that touchdown. And then Tyrone Tracy, again, he's looking good. He's driving. He plant foot wrong, gets carted to the end zone. It's a leg, actually.
Was it? It was a concussion. Oh, so he's out for the year then. So Devin Singletary's
he got carted or driven in the cart. Anyway, and then for whatever reason, the script flips, and now Jackson Dart can throw dump-offs to Devin Singletary, but before he would refuse to do it to Tyrone Tracy. I don't understand it. Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around why that changed, but it's like Singletary. Is he a good pickup? You got to assume that you're not going to have Tracy for at least a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the nice silver lining is they have a bye week 14. These week 14 buys are so stupid. Yeah. Like, it's a disadvantage. I know it's like nice for the Patriots now because they have an advantage because they are 11-2, but you need the bye week 6, week 7, week 8 when your team is like middle of the season. Like, you need that bye. So, like, what is the NFL doing with this shit? And also, like, people in the chat, some people have the playoffs starting in fantasy week 14. That's what the old was week 14 because there was only a 16-game schedule. There was no buys in week 14. Like, if anyone's playing those leagues, get the fuck out of that league for one, or change it. Vote to change it. That's a good league. You vote on different rule changes, and that's such a disadvantage because I would never draft a player like McCaffrey or Drake May this year knowing that because, I mean, unless you can bank on getting a bye, like you're literally, yes, you get the production all year, and then you have what, a zero from that position? You have to play a bench player?
Well, you would have to hope that their value drops enough because of that the bye week in week 1 of the playoffs that you could get them at a discount. You got CMC in round 3 because of that, but that would presume that the people in your league are paying attention to that.
Yeah, no, dude, people are dumb. Hell no, bro.
The other thing is, if you're a commissioner, just do it. Like, forget the league vote nonsense. Just do it. Be like, hey, listen, it was always the last 3 weeks of the regular season before the last week of the regular season. I'm just changing it 15, 16, 17. Like, just do it. You know what I mean? Like,
right. That is also the standard. That is the standard now. If you go to any league, like, it doesn't even offer you the week 14 playoffs. Real quick, Mark says, I call Devin Terry Devin single carry. He's now Devin multi carry. So
Devin double digit carry.
That one. No shit, man. Devin Workhorse, J Bob, Devin Workhorse. That's a fantasy footballer's joke. That's terrible. J Bob says Kiffin to LSU. Story, optimistic about that?
Yeah, this whole situation, have you followed it at all? Because it's very odd. There was ultimatums on both sides, and Kiffin wanted to coach. He says that the players went to the AD and begged to let him coach, but they said no. Basically said, get your shit out and get out of campus, out of town. And then he told his assistants, listen, if you're not on the tarmac flying with me to Baton Rouge, you're not coming with me. People are booing, they're flipping him off.
Are they going to make the college football playoff?
So the big question is that they certainly have the resume to get in, but because remember what happened in Florida State last year, where
with all the injuries.
Well, it was the quarterback tore his ACL on the last game of the season. They said, nope, you're a different team. So are they going to say you don't have your coaches, your assistants? Like, are you a different team? That's the speculation. I don't think they'll do that.
That's insane. But again, why would he? He just fucked over that program hard, dude.
Yeah. The big question I think people are asking is Trinidad Chambliss, the quarterback? So he took over for Austin Simmons when Simmons got hurt. He stole his job. He wallet pipped him. Is Trinidad Chambliss going to follow Lane Kiffin to LSU? And if so, he's already got his quarterback. Like that kid's already a stud. So, and I don't know if Kewan Lacey's coming out this year, if he's coming back to college. He's the running back there. But you could see a lot of guys from Ole Miss follow Kiffin to LSU. It's a good thing for LSU. Like, you got to be happy about the program. They got a ton of money to spend there too.
All right, I got 2 big things for you. First one is I'm just going to touch on your Jackson Dart comment. This is more about the future and next year. I will be drafting Jackson Dart everywhere next year, I think, because I have a feeling he'll be in that no man's land of quarterback, quarterback 8 through quarterback 12, which, nowadays that's like round 9.
Yeah.
And yes, I know the concern is the injuries. I don't give a shit about my quarterback because that's the easiest position to replace. And I'm not giving there's no opportunity cost for me there. It's 10th round, dude. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll get drafted higher, but there's just so many elite quarterbacks now. Now you have Drake May will be probably a top 5 drafted quarterback. You'll still have Lamar up there, Jalen Hurts. Dak Prescott will probably be drafted ahead of him. I'll take the 10th quarterback that runs like that. And he just reminds me of Drake May so much. The recipe for an elite fantasy quarterback is the ability to run, get running yards, especially around the goal line, which he actually has more than Drake May. He is a fucking bowling ball. And then the aggressive passer. You know what I'm saying? Jackson Dart just doesn't give a shit. He just throws the ball downfield. And right now he's unfortunately throwing to a 5'10" Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton, who's the epitome of just a dude. But next year they're going to have Malik Neighbors back. Theo Johnson is his bestie. That dude's a monster. And you're going to get probably a 2nd round rookie wide receiver, we'd guess, for that squad.
Yeah, I would think so. There's a ton of guys that would fit in there nicely. But yeah, you're getting Neighbors back. I would guess that Dart goes around where Bo Nix went this year. That seems about where he's going to end up because we know May's going to go over him. You mentioned Dak Prescott is definitely going to go over him. You still got the big 4 with Burrow, Lamar. Even if Lamar keeps on this trajectory, people would be like, oh, he was injured. Forget about it. He'll return to form next year. Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes will go over him. So you'll be able to get a value on Dart. I'm 100% on board. Dart is what we were hoping Justin Fields could be, but Justin Fields couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
No, and now you're seeing Tyrod. It just is glaring because he's playing without Garrett Wilson. One more big thing we didn't touch on is Travion Henderson. I'm pretty sure this is what I said. I said it'd be like a 55, 45, 60, 40. It was a 50-50, was it not?
It was a pretty even 50-50, and they both looked pretty good. Henderson definitely looked. He's more explosive, but in terms of like the hard yardage, Stevenson was cranking him off. But Henderson 6.1 a carry. Stevenson got 12 carries. Stevenson 3 catches.
3 catches, yeah.
Yeah, Henderson 3 catches for 19. So this is a 50-50. We don't know who the goal line back is going to be because we almost got that situation. Slayton, that was another inch outside, and we would have seen who the goal line back was going to be.
Well, we did see that reception.
I'm sorry. No. I was crossing up. But, yeah.
No, we kind of saw it. It was they had a second and goal. It was a second goal on the 4, and they threw that little swing pass to Henderson, and he got tackled in 2. They brought in Stevenson.
That's right. And then,
so now that was a third down, so we don't know if it was a third down. We don't know.
The first goal to go, that was a real quick back shoulder fade to Kayshon Boutte.
This was the field goal they settled for.
Okay. I don't know. So
yeah, no, he definitely got taken off the field. He had a catch on second down. Maybe it was from like the 5-yard line, so they had it down to like the 4, like a 1-yard catch. And then they brought in Stevenson. So this is not good. Like if Henderson's an explosive player. I want to squash all this Jahmyr Gibbs bullshit though that the announcers keep on saying. Like, dude, there's one Jahmyr Gibbs. His name is Jahmyr Gibbs. He plays for the Lions. Trayvon Henderson does not move like Jahmyr Gibbs. He's a very, very, very explosive player. He doesn't have the cuts like Jahmyr Gibbs. Like get the hell out of here with that. Like you agree, right? It's different tier of player.
They're different styles of player. I don't really understand the comparison. I was just looking. If you take out Henderson's 26-yard run, and I know you can't do that because he is an explosive guy, but if you did take it out, it'd be 10 for 41, which is not much better than what Stevenson gave you. So if they're going to split work, you need Henderson to pop off long runs because, again, they could just, they could give the first crack at a goal line carry to Henderson, then they could give one to Stevenson, then they could do a Drake May sneak. Then they do like to throw around the end zone too. It's going to be a rough stretch. You get they're on bye next week, and then you got to go right in there, not knowing whether it's Henderson or Stevenson. And I mean, maybe Stevenson is still working his way back from that injury too.
So, everyone was taking the victory laps on these guys, like when they became the starter, especially Henderson because he had the 2-game stretch. But would you take in a vacuum? Let's throw it. Not take away the bye. We'll talk about fantasy playoffs. Take away the schedules too. Just the situation. Let's not look too far into it. Would you rather have Henderson or RJ Harvey for the fantasy playoffs?
RJ Harvey.
3 weeks.
RJ Harvey.
But we were just saying last week we wanted Henderson.
Yeah, but
so is it because this game?
We've seen what that split looks like, and we know that Harvey gets the high value touches. We know that Harvey is the goal line back there.
But are you concerned that they have a 3-back system because Tyler Bidet still plays 14 snaps? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. They both have like pretty big. Like they're both not RB1s. We thought they would both be RB1s. Like they're both far away from RB1. Maybe not far away, but they're mid RB2s in my mind with upside.
Man, if only
3-way committees are death.
For Marion, it's Hampton had stayed healthy this year. He would have absolutely crushed it. He would have absolutely paid off on his ADP.
By the way, Marvin, you were right about Marvin Harrison yesterday, man. That heel injury, they announced that he's probably missing next week. Would it surprise you if they just shut him down? Because a heel, when you start fucking with like the foot, man, they become chronic. And like, would it surprise you if they just shut him down? I'm not just wish casting that because all of my Michael Wilson shares, even though I have Marvin Harrison in 5 leagues, but I have Michael Wilson in like 12 leagues. What are they playing for?
If he hadn't had the appendix surgery, I would say it would surprise me because these guys are professional athletes. They're paid. Why wouldn't you just shut down Jackson Dart for the year? Why wouldn't you shut down?
Right. We made that comment yesterday. We have to adjust.
So, but
Drake London might play too.
Yeah, that's the thing. So why wouldn't you just shut him down? But Marvin Harrison is a different. What the hell is going on? Fucking snowblowers going on all the time. The Marvin Harrison situation is different because he's coming back from a appendix surgery. So maybe they're like, all right, you know what? He came back. He got injured a little bit. Let take a couple of weeks. Maybe you get a little more Michael Wilson early in the playoffs.
Hey, heck the sound of that, baby. I need it, man. I need it because my teams are just we've had all the injuries with Scatterbo and Kraft, and like now it's Rico Dowdle, might as well be hurt. Like he's just a tough start. Like the running back situation is so murky around the league right now. Like there is not a lot of guys to trust. There's like Kyron Williams. Can you even trust Kyron Williams right now? Like, I don't know. Like he's fine, but are you going to get any pop-off games from him?
No, but he's a locked and loaded low-end RB1 because he's going to get the first crack at the goal line stuff. Yeah, Blake Corum did get a goal line series, but that's what I think that was when Kyron was in the locker room.
You know who's still in RB1 and locked and loaded? Javonte Williams. How about that, bro?
Although, like, if he's not scoring touchdowns, it's not a good day fantasy-wise for Javonte.
Because he's not very good, but he can have games with 4 or 5 catches, which is
he went several games. He had a long stretch there with no touchdowns, and it was a low-end RB2, high-end RB3.
Yeah. But they stopped running the ball because once Lamb came back, you have Lamb and Pickens and Ferguson, and like, why would you run the ball? Because you have those weapons. But like this offense and this defense, dude, I'm really looking forward to the game on Thursday. I feel like that has the makings of the best Thursday night football game we've seen in a long time. Just impact of the game and how important the game is for both squads, talent of the game. Like the Detroit secondary is just banged to shit right now. So like, good luck guarding those receivers. Good luck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so it should be a high scoring game. Tesla, I think, is an okay flex play. I mean, you put him in your wide receiver spot because it's Thursday night. But no, I'm on St. Brown. That really sucks. And I would not be starting Jake Ferguson in a league either, even with the Thursday night matchup.
Really?
The Lions are halfway decent against tight ends, and he's been pretty crap since CeeDee Lamb came back, basically.
Well, it's because he gives you 5 catches for 25 yards.
So he does
get yards per catch is terrible.
If you need touchdown equity, touchdown upside, then he's probably a play. I'll tell you what, my buddy was texting me in our home league. He's like, I'm excited because he's got the Dak Pickens stack. He's like, I'm excited for Thursday night. He's like fighting for a bye. He's like, and he knows I've got him on St. Brown. He's like, oh, but no ASB this week. And I'm like, you know what? Don't really care because I've locked into a bye. You beat the one guy who could knock me out of a bye this week. And he's just like, bro. He's like, he didn't even realize that. He's like, giving me shit. And I don't,
Yeah, I'm playing my buddy Campbell in my league, not the one raising, but the other one I commish. And I'm 12-1 or whatever. And the second place team has 4 losses. So like I've been locked into a bye since like week 8 when I was 8-0. And like the league is just like really, it's a lot of like average teams. And I really want, I want anyone to win, it's Campbell, just because I love Campbell. And I play him this week, and he needs a win to get a bye. And like, I can't like obviously like bench my starters. So like, I'm projected to win 175 to 135. So like, I can't just take out JSN, and Pickens. But like, I want him to beat me. Like, I don't want this win because I don't need this win. And unfortunately, I can't just bench him. Like,
no, you can't not field a team. You know what I mean? That's a.
What is your? I have a question for you on this one. What is your stance? We're gonna get to the intro and all your questions in a second. So, you've seen teams where like you're. It's not about their matchup because you're already locked in. This specifically happens in 4 for playoffs. 4 teams making the playoffs where teams want to lose. Let's say you have the number 1 or number 2 seed locked up. Your seeding can't change, but they don't want a certain team to make the playoffs, or they want a team to make the playoffs, so they want to lose to somebody, and they like do some janky shit with their lineup. Have you ever seen this before? Because I have, and it's like an unwritten rule.
So the only league that it would be an issue in for me is college leagues, because most of those leagues are for a. But the thing is, like, and I've been tempted, but I'm like, my pride gives me won't allow me to not field the best possible roster. I'd rather be 10-3 and face a stronger team, face the 4 seed, even if they have a stronger team, than be 9-4 and not face that team. So that's my mentality.
Well, your opinion, because you have these rules about no vetoes, all this shit. So like that's not, it's breaking the rules. It's pretty much like cheating the system, because you have to, obviously you still have to roster a lineup. You can't leave a spot open, but you're playing Blake Corum instead of Bijan Robinson. You're playing Tyler Algier instead of Jahmyr Gibbs, because those are guys on your bench. And then you bench, you have Kyle Pitts on the bench, but you bench Brock Bowers for him. And like, you still feel the roster, but it's clearly what you're doing. You're literally trying to lose.
Right.
And what is the like repercussions from the league? What do you do?
Number one, how can you prove it? Like,
Because you would never start Blake Corum over fucking Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, but I saw, I knew this was going to be a pass happy game. I saw Blake Corum got the first of all, like you could have a guy BS you. Even then, like if there's not a rule against it at the beginning of the season, what are you enforcing exactly? You're going to say that we, for the betterment of the league, we know better than you. We're going to manage your league for you. If there's a rule against it,
I knew you'd say that.
It's got to be very clearly defined. How you've got to have a binder full of rules and regulations because again, like these are all adults. If somebody wants to tank their season to get a better draft pick, if you got it where the I don't agree with this, but if you get a better draft pick, the worse you feel or you finish. Like unless you have a rule against it. The other thing is like unless like you say like you can't leave a line of sight blank, but what if a dude is on vacation, he forgets to set his lineup, and somebody gets an easy win because of that? Do you, as a commissioner, go in and fix it for the person? That
it's just a wild situation. But I've seen it happen, and we've had I've seen both ends of it, right? Where it's like you should be allowed to. NFL teams do it all the time, but also like it's friends league, so like have some goddamn respect. All right. I'm gonna hit you guys with the intro, and then get to everyone's question after this. That was a terrible, terrible read by me. Oh, I forgot to switch it to Mike's Storey on the name there. I was so discombobulated from that Devin Singletary tie I had. Unreal.
I haven't seen a tie in a league outside of college in a long, long time. A long time.
Oh, it just hurts because if I just win, it's a bye, and now I have to face the third place team. And if he beats me, I have third seed, and that's $1,800 right there. Like I've had it happen to me in particular where I don't get the bye and I lose wild card or the first round, and then I go and look at the matchups what I would have scored and I would have won the championship. Where like the bye is everything sometimes, man. Like it's so hard to win 3 games in a row.
I stopped doing that a few years ago where I'm like figuring out what I would have scored in week 2 or week 2 of the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera.
My last year I did lose a league. Cost me $2,800. It was $4,000 for first, and then $1,200 for second, and I made a change at 3:00 in the championship game, and I started fucking Jerome Ford because he was playing the Dolphins, and I was favored to win by like 14. I was like, I need like 12 points, and he gets hurt in the second quarter, and either way, like they got blown out. And it was a 3-way committee, and then I didn't start Pearsall, and I didn't start Calvin Ridley. It was those two, and it's PPR. It's like just start the receiver. Fucking idiot, and I ended up losing by fucking 4. And no $4,000 payday for me. So like instead of winning $500 or $5,500 for the year, I won $1,500. Like just I'm still stewing about that one story because Jerome Ford is not exactly a must start. I don't care about like his workload. It's like obviously the workload wasn't even there, but he was killing it the previous 2 weeks. He was like RB6 and RB8 the previous 2 weeks. Adam says Helen Hunt. That's what Storey uses for pre-show jitters. You think you can get hard to Helen Hunt?
No, I don't. Probably not. I mean, the double.
Hit you with a double doink.
Yeah,
it's gross. It's gross. She's nasty. Great lady though. Great lady.
I'm sure. All
right. Yeah. So I had to pick up and play Singletary out of desperation. It worked out. Whew. It's been a rotating backfield. It's been Singletary week, Tracy week, Singletary week, Tracy week. So, and it might just be Devin Singletary the rest of the way.
Now you get the bye for Tracy, but I mean he took the golf cart in the locker room, so that does not look good. So hold on to Singletary through the bye.
Yeah, I was stashing him. I think I have him in like 7 spots, but I have all these running backs in my bench story, and like eventually, unfortunately, Devin Singletary is not the one I want to be the starter. I want to be Blake Corum and Tyler Algier and even Isaiah Davis. Can I have Isaiah Davis? I'm still holding on to Isaiah Davis.
Sure. Like, I just like the guy. What are you gonna do? Like, starting Isaiah Davis on that Jets team, like Breece Hall's a different level of talent. Like Blake Corum steps in. he's the same level of talent as Kyron Williams, and he gets the same role and a good offense. If Isaiah Davis steps in, he's a lesser talent in a much worse offense. So
it's just snap share. It's just snap share. He'd play 80% of
it's
the
the same thing
snaps.
with Devin Neal here. Like, how much work is he reasonably going to get, and how much is the team really going to score for that person to be valuable in your lineup? That's the question I have to ask. Brian Robinson.
And I guess you're probably about playoff teams and like, would they even crack your lineup? Well, they would crack that's my worry story. I might be in 22 playoff leagues, but like I have a feeling I might only win 3 or 4 shifts because my teams are so decimated just by like all year getting hurt. And like, if Drake London doesn't come back on some of those squads, like, my tight end, I'm streaming tight end in all those leagues because I had Tucker Kraft everywhere. My quarterbacks haven't been good all year. I didn't draft high quarterbacks. So it's just like, the team, you get in the playoffs, like you're not facing like, teams with bye weeks. You're not facing anything like that. You're facing some big boy lineups.
Yeah.
And
things are consolidating here very quickly. So,
but I've also been, a lot of times I've been the team that's favored to win by 30 and losing. So all it takes is a roster, right? Starting your Adonai Mitchells.
Your AD Mitchells.
Z-Mac, I was puckered up watching May have like 14 points at halftime while I was up 23. He came up short to get me 8-5 on a 5-game winning streak. Drake May's good. He's very good at football. Is he the best deep ball passer in the league?
He's certainly one of the best deep ball passers in the league. His touch is something else, man. His accuracy, he's put in spots, and like nobody's you don't have a Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb there, but like the dudes are catching passes, stepping up when need be. Hunter Henry's finding soft spots in the zone, getting open, and then even old man Hunter Henry still got some juice, yards after the catch. Everything's coming together for a magical season for Dre.
Do you know where Hunter Henry ranks right now in fantasy tight ends?
I would guess 8. Tight end 8.
Dude, no, it's like tight end 4, bro. I was just looking. I was looking before this game. Tight end 6. Okay. And he should have had a touchdown. He had a touchdown called back in this game for some bullshit. So, like, I'm just saying, like, tight end 6 or Hunter Henry. Like, that's the best ball fucking warrior right there because he was going tight end 23. That's unreal right there.
Wow. Yeah.
That's Javonte Williams level value. Hetzer says he's saying about dropping stuff on Diggs because they have a bye next week. I mean, I wouldn't do that. He's saying it's not getting targets. The worry with me is that he's not getting snaps. He's like the Keenan Allen situation where he's a situational. He's not playing on any rundowns, right? Like any like design runs. But here's the problem with that story is they check out of runs 33% of the time. So you're missing those potential targets, those routes. He's not playing on 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s. They're bringing Jumbo in. They're still passing. So like, and he's rotating in and out too. So it's like Demario Douglas is playing as much as he is.
Well, they're also playing a bunch of 2-back sets. And if they do a 21 personnel, now that's one fewer wide receiver on the field. So, 55% of the snaps is not enough, even with the amount that they're passing. I would have a tough time starting him in the week 1 of the playoffs. I really would.
Yeah, but it's crazy because I think he was going into the game. I think he was wide receiver 19. Now he has played every single game. So at points per game basis, he's probably more like wide receiver 25 or 30, which is still a startable guy. But it's like I want a guy on the field. I want a guy playing every snap, and it's just the other end of it though is you have a guy tied to Drake May.
Well, I mean, I think Butte's playing more snaps than Diggs right now. But Diggs is like Diggs is a better receiver than Butte still, but Butte's getting more work. So how can you start Diggs over Butte right now?
It's one of those things where it's almost like a Quinshon Judkins thing where you have to predict a game script if you want to understand the upside. And like, but how many games are the Patriots going to be losing? You know what I mean? Like their schedule's easy. They're crushing right now.
Right.
Do you think they're a fraud? You don't think they're a fraud, right?
I don't. No. You can only play the teams that are on your schedule, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
I'm cooling on my Patriots a fraud thing. I'll say this though, their defense doesn't impress me, man. Now they're getting run over a little bit, and that's the problem. If you can run on them, and you can if you could just take Christian Gonzalez out of the game and just throw away from him, then you can get this team. He's a good player. He's such a good player, by the way.
You're right. They are getting run on. I mean, they couldn't really run it with Singletary, and then they were losing, and it was like, okay, the game's kind of over. They put Tyrone Tracy in, and then Tyrone Tracy starts ripping off 6-7 yard carries, 8 yard carries, and the next thing you know, they're down there at the 25-yard line in the blink of an eye. So if teams are going to attack them on the ground, that's going to be a problem with their defense. But they have the offense that can keep up. So.
Yeah, Wally said the Hunter Henry TD that got called back, saved by matchup, 142 to 140.
Nice.
Woo! You're probably that's a big one because you're just waiting. You know how when you're in a matchup like that, you're looking for the flag, and like that play, I didn't see it. I didn't even see it on the replay. It did not.
I didn't either.
I know he wasn't quite set. The lineman wasn't in a 3-point stance, but dude, I see that missed all the time. These refs.
I will say this: the refs in this game were atrocious. The refs have been bad this year. The refs in this game were atrocious. I counted at least half a dozen false starts on both sides of that were not called. Like I've never like the left tackles were fully erect before the ball was snapped. It's bad. Like it's really bad. And come on, that's a ticky-tack illegal formation penalty. He wasn't quite in a 3-point stance. Like, come on. It had
You're actually pretty fair to the referees, though, Storey. You hate coaches much more than you hate referees. I bet you could name me the top 10 referees in the league right now. You can't even give me a top 3 coaches.
Well, the referees have been bad all year long. They've been very, very bad.
How about Theo Johnson coming there and fucking up that dude that hit Jackson Dart? Terrible penalty because it went from a 3rd and 1 to a 3rd and 16.
I must have missed that because
when Dart got crunched, like running on the sideline. Theo Johnson came because they're like best buddies, dude.
Oh,
okay. He came in there and just leveled the dude.
I was on the way home from the office. I didn't see that one because that was on the first drive, right?
Yeah, and by the way, Storey, I mean, you called Theo Johnson's you called it a breakout just based on where he was being drafted, just his talent. With what I said about Jackson Dart next year about targeting him most places as just a late quarterback option. I think Theo Johnson might be that dude next year, man. Now he's struggled a little bit recently, and he hasn't actually played that well with Jackson Dart. But the fact that they're best buddies, I know it's like a narrative thing, but he's just dude. He's a red zone monster. He's a yard. He's a Tucker Kraft mold that I love at tight end. He's not a PPR guy, but like you're also looking at a guy you can get outside the top 12 most likely next year, or that fringe, the Hunter Henry from a couple years ago area. And I think that's gonna be a guy I'm gonna target everywhere. I think this Giants offense. I know it's crazy. I'm already looking ahead to 2026, but
he 3 for 29, so that's not great. He did get an end zone target that he should have brought down. That would have changed the narrative significantly on Theo Johnson. But he got 8 targets today, and so I'm happy about the usage. It's just Dart is not Dart's not there yet, and hopefully a full off season working as the quarterback one, he and Theo Johnson can develop some chemistry. Like you said, you got a good mold there for what you want in a late round tight end.
What do we do with DK Metcalf? We just benching him?
I would bench him this week. I don't even know what the matchup is, but what can you possibly do with him?
Did you see the pass that Mason Rudolph threw when he came in for that series, that pick?
No.
Dude, it was like a loopy. It was like a 17-yard out. It wasn't to DK. It was probably like Calvin Austin or some shit. Dude, he threw. It was like a loopy. He has a weak arm, and it went fucking. It was literally a JJ McCarthy pass, just right over the guy's head, and he's bad. Aaron Rodgers just beat to shit right now. So,
oh my god, the vibes there are completely. They're just bad.
Yeah, this season's over. It's over. Any thoughts on Greg Dortch with Harrison out? I mean, he was killing it. So the crazy thing is, Storey, he had in the 2 games that Michael Wilson went off, 10 catches, 15 catches. Greg Dortch had touchdowns in both games. Michael Wilson did not have a touchdown.
I know.
You think it'd be the other way around, right? Dortch is the PPR guy, and Michael Wilson be getting the touchdowns. But Jacoby Brissett can support 3 receiving game weapons. We've seen it week in, week out. It makes no sense when I'm telling you that, but the numbers say he can because he's throwing for 320 yards a game.
It's nice to see because quarterbacks regularly used to throw 280, 300 yards, and now we're getting guys that win the game and they're coming out with 180 yards, 200 yards. It's a difference in offensive philosophy. So yeah, when you got a guy that's starting for 300 yards a game, he generally can support. Now Dortch is a touchdown dependent play this week. So if you need upside, Greg Dortch it's fine, but he could very well goose you. Probably won't goose you, but he could go 3 for 28, whatever it is. But he is, they're moving the ball downfield, and he's got red zone looks. So, yeah, I don't think Harrison's playing this week.
No, Anarchy. You got to think Neighbors won't be back until at least weeks 6 through 8 next year. It was an ACL he tore. It wasn't an Achilles, right? It was an ACL, correct?
I don't know if it was an ACL or MCL, but it was a knee.
No, but it wasn't an Achilles. Yeah, it wasn't an Achilles. So, he'll be – I think he's back week 1, dude. That was week 4. Like, that's not that late in the season. Like, that's literally 11 months after he tore it at the start of the season. So, you would say it's 10 months. It's 10-month injury now, right?
ACL and meniscus. So, with that, he'll probably start training camp on the pup. And it wouldn't surprise me to see him miss maybe the first game or two, but he'll definitely be back.
Did Diggs tear both, or was that just an ACL? Because Diggs is the same timeline. Yeah, Diggs was week 5 last year, and he came back for week 1. So I'm saying Stephon Diggs is much older. Now, he had that secret pink powder on the boat. Maybe can we get neighbors some of that?
Maybe crushed up like unicorns or pixies or something like that?
Yeah. I would bet on, if I had to make a bet one way or another, Story, I would bet that he plays week 1. Like, I'm not saying it's like a foregone conclusion, but I'd say he plays week 1. It's better than 50-50 chance because Stephon Diggs just did it at an older age and a later age.
I think it's 50-50, but we'll see.
And yeah, my thing is I wasn't saying I'm about Malik Neighbors in particular, just because I am a little scared off about these injuries, but he'll be on the field the majority of the year, and they're going to bring someone else in too. So, I mean, the weapons are just really bad right now for that Giants team. Terrible.
Yeah.
Did you see this play, dude? Michael, I agree, man. I was watching the play. I don't know which touchdown it was. It wasn't the booty touchdown. It was the second one where
Matt Collins. Was it Matt? No,
it wasn't Matt Collins. It was who the hell else
Douglas,
scored?
was it?
No, he didn't score. Who the hell was it? Anyways, it looked like his left leg, or it would have been his
Kyle Williams.
Yeah, his left.
The rookie, Kyle Williams.
It looked like his knee went out of bounds before the right foot hit, and they reviewed it, and
I saw that too. But was it down like when he was catching the ball? Then the left foot came down, then the right one again, and that's what we're looking at. I would have to look at the play again.
Yeah. So when I first saw it, I was like, I think his knee went out of bounds. It was almost simultaneous, but his knee went out of bounds first, and I was like, he must have had his plant leg. His right leg must have been planted first. You know how they had a couple of catches this week, but no, it was not. It was not when I looked at it. So that was a quick review. You know, they review every scoring play, and I definitely would say that was not a catch.
Here, I got the video right here. Let me take a look here real quick. Let's see here. Okay.
Yeah, we got Storey reviewing some film for us. We love when he does this.
Oh my God. Okay, so the ball is in his left hand with the right pinky touching it while his right foot is on the turf. And then the left comes down, and then the left knee comes down, and then the right foot again. So the question is, do they consider that control with the ball in his left hand and his pinky on top of it? I would have thought they would have reviewed it for longer, but apparently there wasn't enough to overturn it.
What do you think about the helmet to helmet? Now, the announcer said that's not a penalty, but like that guy got destroyed, and like the optics of it, like just throw the flag, man.
Yeah, like so from an optics standpoint, should have just said throw the flag, and then afterwards you come out and say, listen, it shouldn't have been a penalty, but in the interest of player safety, our refs overthrew, whatever, et cetera. But like technically it's not a flag because he's a runner, and he's not defenseless. But again, you're not wrong where the optics of this are horrendous. The dude barely could keep his head up as he was being walked off the field. That's not in the interest of player safety. So is that something that's going to get looked at in the offseason? I would hope so. God, I just that's as nasty as a head-to-head hit as I've ever seen, I think.
And Michael makes a good point that they got a fumble out of that. So, like, that's another reason to call the fucking flag. Therefore, it's not a fumble. Like, you can't have people just going in there head first, dude. Like, it is what it is. But, like, they're just, like, they're trying to make the game safer. And then you see a play like that. It's just like, nope, it was legal. Like, letter of the law. Like, okay, man. Mark says Cook matchup proof based on his last game since they have no receivers to throw the ball to. And they're just literally a dink and dunk offense. It's like Daniel Jones is playing quarterback there.
So, you saw that text that I sent you earlier today, right? Where 50% of Josh Allen's passes in the first half went behind the line of scrimmage. Like, dude, Joe Brady, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, go play some Madden, and you'll see that there's more than screens and mesh routes or mesh patterns. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and I get the receivers, like they don't have the personnel to be like chucking the ball over the yard. Jackson Dart's chucking the ball over the yard. Now, maybe it's not a good thing, but he has Darius Slayton. Like Josh Palmer was inactive. He can stretch the goddamn field. I've seen him do it for the Chargers for years. Keon Coleman, that's really the only thing he can do, at least be a big body. And I don't know. It's just you're not utilizing the strengths of your quarterback. Maybe do that. And maybe you don't have to run him 8 times. I don't know. It doesn't matter for Josh Allen because he'll never get hurt.
They don't seem to care.
What's going on, Supreme? They did this. YouTube did this thing where they changed everyone's. What's up?
I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, YouTube did this thing where they changed everyone's to handle. So is this Chase? I think it might be Chase. My memory is good. I think I remember your tag there. Okay, while he's away, a little read for you guys. Check out Helen Hunt for one. Hello, Helen. Shout out to the Patreon members. You know who you are. Appreciate all you guys helping me out, keeping the lights on here 7 nights a week, gentlemen. Really appreciate it. A lot of good perks in there. You want to play fantasy leagues with us. Community fantasy league starting here in about 4 weeks with NFL playoff fantasy. Going to do 1 or 2 leagues. If you want to get in there, let me know. Guest appearances in the podcast. Mark was just on Friday. Free merch giveaways. You want this hat I'm wearing? Boom. Once a month, give away one of these bad boys. And the biggest perk of all, access to the Discord community and access to my bets early. Rough week this week, 6-4. That's how good it's been for us. 6-4 is a bad week on these player props, but still 66-36 on the year. Check out professionalfanatics.com if you want access to the Patreon to get in the Discord. I will send you an invite as soon as you sign up. Appreciated, and I think it's recommended. Ask anyone in the chat; they would recommend it strongly. I think I haven't had anyone cancel, so obviously people are happy with the services I'm offering, and that's what I want to do. I had to come back for rivalry. Go Pack, go. Blake's gonna love that. Also, shout out Blake, media manager. Love you, dude. Love you, Blake. I'm gonna play a clip while he's gone. What am I gonna play? Oh, here you go.
Don't think just because I got a lot of money, I'll give you taco flavored kisses, honey. Fulfill all your wishes with my taco flavored kisses. Taco, taco, burrito, burrito, taco, taco.
Burrito, taco, taco.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Let's see where we at here. David Montgomery. I don't think it's rigged. There's some stuff. So I mute him. The Fairbairn kick, a lot of people are talking about that extra point. I think that was good. Now, I know the letter of the law says the whole ball has to be inside of the goalpost. That's a 50-50 call, and that's a really hard call for the officials to make. There's one solution for this. Raise the fucking bars all the way to the fucking, like, just unlimited. The Fairbairn kick, extra point. You think that was good or not, Storey? Oops, sorry, you're muted. Sorry, hold on. I muted you because your phone was ringing. Was that good or not?
My bad.
It's all good.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I honestly, I don't know. I think you were saying raise the goalposts higher.
Raise them all the way up, and then you don't have that issue.
What do you mean all the way up? Like, how high?
All the way to the fucking ceiling, dude. The fucking roof of these domes, or like the top
like
of the fucking.
Because then you'd have obstructed views. Number one.
And you'd have wind issues too.
Yeah. Well, unless
it's a little higher.
Unless it's a dome.
Yeah, but you can't have certain ones going all the way up.
Unless you connected it to the
roof.
I don't know. How often does that happen, though? How often? Well, it's more of an issue hitting the camera wire in Jerry World. That's happened multiple times this year.
Yeah. That whole stadium, it's so awesome, but you got the fucking glare coming through the windows. You got, like, dude, it's NFL, man. Like, there's a lot of money on this shit. And, like, fix your stadium, Jerry. Fix it. Put cardboard up. I don't give a shit. Put cardboard up.
Well,
like,
they told Jerry it was going to cost like $10,000 to put black curtains up. He's like, no, we're not doing that. It's like the players can deal with it.
I guess both sides have to deal with it, but like it's going to come down. It's going to be ironic if and when the Cowboys ever make it to an NFC Championship game, and it's a 3:00 game, and it's going to cost them a fucking chance at the Super Bowl. Like, I'm just telling you, that would be so Cowboys, right?
It would. And you saw George Pickens just absolutely miss that one on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing with David Montgomery? I mean, you can't get rid of him, but
I'm not playing him.
can't start him.
I'm not. Even with a high scoring matchup on Thursday, I'm not playing him. He's. I don't think it's going to go back to what like the split that we've seen with Singletary and Tracy and the guys in New England. So I can't run the risk if it's a win and get in situation, or if I'm trying to get a buy, I can't take the risk. There has to be somebody else who is going to get better work.
Dallas Goedert, same kind of situation. He's still playing a lot of snaps, and like he was just kind of surviving on touchdowns earlier in the year, and those have dried up. So, is he still a tight end one to you?
No, he's not. I think he could move on. You should be able to find like a Brenton Strange or a maybe Harold Fannon's back on the wire because he had several weeks where David Njoku. Now Harold Fannon, dude's almost an every down snap or every snap player now, so he's back on the tight end radar for me. So let's talk about Gadsden. I think I'm out on him. Like
I've been out on Gadsden.
I'd rather start Brenton Strange this week over him.
You love Brenton Strange. You have just come full circle on Brenton Strange, baby.
Yeah, dude, I love Brenton Strange now.
What's next? Cade Otton love? You're gonna have love for Cade Otton?
Cade Stover. How about Cade Stover?
What about him?
Yeah, he's playing more for Houston right now.
Oh yeah, but I actually liked him remember I liked him for deep best ball.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
He got hurt, but
he's only playing on running snaps anyway.
Yeah, Ray's having what's up, Big Ray? He's having some struggles in his some of his leagues with injuries and performance. Well, he has JSN and St. Brown. So if you're a JSN, like you have a league with JSN and St. Brown, you lost this week. No ifs, ands, or buts. You had 2 points from those guys combined, 4 points.
Almost certain. It's unfortunate. And Amon-Ra didn't even, literally 0 points before he went out. So that's as bad as it gets. At least it's not season ending, but now you need to survive being without him for 2 weeks, I would say. I got to make plans week 15.
Let's see. Mark, I believe in myself. I only need to make the playoffs to make Ray's greasy spot. Ooh, greasy spot known. Some grease for sure.
Is that the
He's
name
watching
of
planes?
Is that the name of a diner? I bet that's like the name of a small town diner that just has like amazing hash browns.
Yeah, that would what Ray would name his restaurant if he had one, which he is a good cook. He's watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's an all-time classic, right? The best Thanksgiving, maybe the only true Thanksgiving movie out there.
Trying to think. There's a Thanksgiving themed horror movie that has Patrick Dempsey in it that I'm aware of. I don't know of any other. Maybe
did you see that one? I just watched it.
Oh, it's horrible. It's just absolutely atrocious.
It's very Final Destination-ish, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, all-time classic for sure.
Yeah, John Candy's one of the goats. I just wish we had that, the 7 or 8 years. I think he was 45, 44 when he died. Farley was 33, so it would have been 11 years. I wish we had those 11 years of Farley because it would have been very John Candy-esque. All he had was the early stuff from Farley, which he would have grown and hopefully sobered up a little bit and just gotten bigger too. He would have been 500 pounds. Waller or Strange rest of the season, half PPR.
I think I would go Strange. Now, Waller's got the Bengals in week 15, as the commenter noted here. That's extremely. The problem is Waller's only playing 40% of the snaps, 45% of the snaps, probably somewhere in that range. 45.
That's what he was doing earlier in the year when he was dominating, though, because when he's on the field, they're targeting him.
But he ran a route on like 70% of the pass plays. Only 2 for 47. He did get an end zone target. I think, he's a strong tight end one starter, but so strange. I think with Parker Washington being dinged up, I'm going to go with Strange.
Good call. I think Strange and full PPR is easy money there. Half PPR makes it a little bit, because I know Strange had a touchdown this week, but historically not a touchdown dude. So it's half PPR for me. It's a coin flip. So I would go with Storey's answer. Jay, what do I do with Lamar? Caleb's my backup. The next 3 games are horrible. I'm going Lamar over Caleb because Caleb isn't much better.
Yeah. What are you really getting from Caleb when they're a run first team?
You're getting 200 yards passing. Big Ray says, Storey, say his name, Ben Johnson. Say it.
Ben Johnson.
There you go. There you go.
He's fine. He's got a lot to prove.
Team money at 10 minutes in or so, or 15 minutes in, we did a whole 5 minutes on Lane Kiffin. If you want to go back after the show and check that out. Gatson a drop for Strange or Waller. We're definitely dropping Gatson, correct?
100. I mean, I've in a league that I have no waivers. Everybody's a free agent. I already dropped Gatson to pick up Strange for this coming week.
I got a brain buster for you. You start Trevor Lawrence over Lamar this week. Now the line's drawing lower here. We're looking at Jags are at home against the Colts without Sauce Gardner.
Oh man, no Sauce Gardner. The Colts should put up points. I don't think so. I think I'm going down with Lamar. I think I'm going to ride this ship into the ground.
Yeah, same, 100%. Jay, your league upsets me so much. He said he won 65-56, only would have beat one other team out of 12. He plays it's standard, obviously. Is it negative PPR, negative 0.5 per reception, Dinosaur League? It's standard, and it has one transaction per week. Story. You can only make one move per week, max.
What if you got like multiple dudes? What if you have both your?
You can't fill a whole lineup. Then you're fucked. That's the rule.
So
I know he said he's been doing it forever. It's an old school league, and like I get that like people don't want to change, but like he has four bench spots and one move per. That's insane. You have to like draft so like smart with buys and have no injuries to even be able to fill up full lineup. Wild.
Why isn't this league adapting and evolving? You want people spending their time worried about like having both a defense and a kicker on the same bye week?
I don't know. I tried to tell. He's not the commissioner. What can he do? You know, but like I wouldn't play in that league because I like it to be fair. You know, I like to have the best team win and the smartest person win. At least to give them the best chance to win because that's called life.
This is just you're artificially creating roadblocks for people to have fun. I don't like that.
That's the word. That's the word. Roadblocks. Braden, this is a very, very, very loaded question. Who are our new first round candidates next year for redraft? Can we just toss out a couple?
Well, Jonathan Taylor, CMC, obviously, Bijan Robinson.
No, new first round candidates. So guys that weren't drafted in the first round.
Well, it's
so like JSN, Taylor, but like
JSN,
yeah, Jonathan Taylor. I'm trying to think. Trey McBride.
Yeah, although, like, I don't know. Like, is he back to the point where I guess it depends on their quarterback situation, but is he back to the point? Are we back to the point of drafting a tight end in the first round of fantasy drafts? Has it ever worked out? It used to be Kelsey, was Gronk before that. There was a Jimmy Graham era.
Yeah, it worked out for Kelsey a couple years. And you know, ironically, I think it was the years that Kelsey fell to the second. He actually returned first round value. But Trey McBride is so safe. It was like back in the day where you drafted Antonio Brown first overall, and he always finished as like the fourth player. But like it was so safe because he never got hurt, and he was always the third wide receiver on the year. And it was like all you want to do is not mess that pickup. In my mind, and like tight end advantage, I'm not a big fan of early tight end, but Trey McBride is literally. Now he's catching touchdowns. He's guaranteed for 110 catches a year. And like, you're getting that from a tight end. It's unreal.
Yeah. But like, what if Kyler's, did you see that they're not going to open Kyler's window this week?
Kyler's never playing another snap for that team, dude. I heard he might go to the Vikings. What do you think about that?
That would be interesting. I would be interested to see how that works out with Kevin O'Connell.
I would hate it for Justin Jefferson though.
James Cook. James Cook, was James Cook a first round pick?
Oh, no, he was a third-round pick this year.
James Cook could sneak into the first round.
Javonte Williams, Tucker Kraft.
Javonte Williams.
Yeah, and maybe, you know, maybe a rookie. Is there any rookie that could
No, I mean, the only guy
where do you think Ashton Genty's going next year?
Round 3, I'd say.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I'll be all over that. Sorry,
the only rookie running back that's going to make waves early in fantasy drafts, in my estimation, is Jeremiah Love, and he's not a locked and loaded first 3-round pick, maybe round 4 for him in fantasy drafts.
Would you drop Goddard? Well, you know, you say that, and then like he starts off there, and by that draft season, he's like an early 3rd-round pick. That's what people do.
Because he goes to trying to think like who needs a running back. He goes to like Breece Hall leaves and he goes to the Jets or something like that, you know?
Yep, people love them rookies, man. Would you drop Goddard for Kyle Pitts?
Not for Pitts. I would drop him for Ertz, though.
I would drop if I learned right now, today or tomorrow, that there's no Drake London the rest of the year. I would want Kyle Pitts for sure. If I would know Drake London's coming back, I don't want Kyle Pitts. And Zach Ertz, are you buying in this 10-catch Zach Ertz performance?
We've seen it before, and Mariota seems to really like him. Now Daniels could be back this coming week, but I mean, I don't think I'm starting Goddard. There's probably 16, 18 guys I'm starting over Goddard right now.
100%. GT has Dart, May, and Burrow. Got to take Burrow off the IR. Should I drop Dart or Gatson? My other tenant is Bowers. Drop Gatson, and then you can probably still drop Dart and then pick up a running back. So drop two of them. Drop Gatson and a quarterback.
No reason to hold on.
Roll with.
Got to take Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when is Dart ever going to crack your lineup? I mean, you do have. I mean, you're going to be playing Burrow this coming week because May is on bye. When is Dart ever going to? Is it a two quarterback league or a super flex? And in that case,
I don't think it is. I think he just probably picked up Burrow, a couple weeks ago and stashed him, and then Dart was on IR too. So I would definitely drop Dart drop both of them for running backs or whatever, wide receiver. Don't have a second tight end. You have Bowers, no bye. He's healthy, and then May and Burrow is fine.
Yeah.
So how do you win a ship with Saquon at RB1? You can win it because Saquon's gonna be fine. I've been saying this forever. Eventually,
I'm trying to figure that out myself, Titan style. I am trying to figure that out myself. I traded for Barkley back in early October, and looks like I'm going to have a bye in that league. It sucks though because like my wide receivers have been carrying me because I've got Olave, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Puka, but I'm not going to have Amon-Ra St. Brown more than likely week one of the playoffs. So, like, Saquon, can you please just get back on the horse this week? Like, can give me just a little hope?
Dude, in one of my ESPN leagues, it's like a $150 league, my least, like, paid attention to league I have. And I had Saquon Barkley, and I was 2-6, I think. Maybe 1-6. I think I was 2-6. And Saquon's on bye week 9, and I was playing the guy I was playing offered me a trade of Chase Brown and Marvin Harrison for Saquon straight up, and I was playing him. So he essentially took the L against me because he was like 7-1 or some shit. But like I was like I needed to win, almost went out to make the playoffs, and like now that trade looks great. I'm 1 win away from making the playoffs now. And it sucked for me to trade Barkley because it wasn't Chase Brown was really struggling, and I was like I'm losing this trade, but I think I'm going to win this matchup because of this trade because of the bye situation. And now, like he's just stuck with Saquon Barkley and his team, and I got Chase Brown and Marvin Harrison, and now Michael Wilson because I picked him up because Marvin Harrison. Michael Wilson's my best friend. I love that guy.
What sucks about Chase Brown is P. Ryan is back, and they really like P. Ryan in the 2-minute drill, third down situations.
It was 60-40 split was the snap share this week. Story 60% for Chase Brown. That's not what it was. It was 88% for a while there. Travis Etienne, man, there's another 3-headed committee because they're playing LaQuint Allen like 18% of the snaps, which I know doesn't seem like a lot, but you got 18% for Allen. You have 30% for Tootin. That only leaves 52% for Etienne. And Tootin gets goal line carries, dude.
I think that was strictly because of the score. I'd have to go check and see when LaQuint Allen got those touches, but that really doesn't bother me too much. But yeah, this bouncing between Etienne and Tootin situation is less than ideal. Like everybody was really hyped for Tootin after his big breakout game 2 weeks ago, and then he lays an egg, and then now he's back to eating into Etienne's workload. I don't know what to think there.
I will say this. I think next year, depending on what happens this year, how far they go and all this kind of stuff, I think they're going to be rolling with Tootin and LaQuint Allen and maybe draft a guy because they're not going to take on Etienne again. And I would be really interested in Tootin next year, man. What do you think? Depending on where it goes, obviously.
Depends on where it goes. Like Etienne moving on is probably likely. I don't think they'll add anybody early. I think they're happy with where they're at with Tootin.
And they like Allen.
I do like LaQuint Allen. He just hasn't been able to see the field like at all. Again, I'd have to check because I don't think LaQuint Allen got any actual touches, but he just got some snaps.
No. Did you hear the offensive lineman saying LaQuint Allen is already the best pass per running back in the NFL?
Okay, great.
Well, what's funny is so I'm watching the game. It's on Red Zone. I'm kind of flipping back and forth on a multi-view, and I see LaQuint Allen just whiff on a block. like whiff on a block and like not miss an assignment, like literally just miss a guy. That's literally 2 days after his offensive lineman saying he's a great blocker or has the potential to be, like saying he's the best. Crazy talk, and it probably got to his head a little bit. But
Maybe.
yeah, Tootin just has that. Like I said, Jackson Dart has the recipe for a fantasy quarterback. Like Tootin has the recipe for an elite fantasy back. Sturdy, goal line, can catch, explosive plays. That's all you need.
He could have similar usage to ETN's first couple of years there, which would be exciting for Tootin.
Yeah, good call from Justin. Lasers. All I want is with laser beams attached to their freaking heads. The mutated sea bass.
Freaking sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their foreheads. Is that too much to ask?
What do we have? Sea bass. Are they? What does he say? Are they deranged or whatever? He's like, they are mutated sea bass. He's like, oh, that's a start. But a laser going up from the goalpost that stopped like Fairbairn kick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Visually would help. They got to do something.
Is it really that, like, again, it's expensive to put lasers and stuff, and like, is it worth it for the one time a year it happens? Probably not.
You got the counselor making short saying the NFL's rigged, man. It's a big surprise there.
I didn't click on it. I did see that he had posted a short on something related to proof the NFL is something.
Yeah. His 22-minute his video today was like, I just scroll through because it's hilarious. Was like 11 minutes on individual instances because he has no actual knowledge of ball. He doesn't want to give anyone information because all his information is bad. So he just like, and my point is like it's one thing if we do it on the show Story, we do 2 to 3 hours a night on this every night. So like we're gonna have some sidetrack conversations, but to put out 2 videos a week and have 25% of your content just be like the NFL's rigged, even though I make my career on the NFL, it's just like, dude, what are you doing? What is this?
Yeah, I'm going to watch this short. I'm going to put you on mute. I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to watch this short, and then we'll reconvene.
Hey-o. I'm going to play an awesome clip then for you guys, which I love. And there you go.
Rice. Like, I'm telling you, man, they are messing with you. Like,
Don't think just because I got a lot of money, I'll give you taco flavored kisses, honey. Fulfill all your wishes with my taco flavored kisses. Taco, burrito, taco.
As with prop betting, I'm telling you guys, and that's why there's
burrito. Sorry, I got to mute Story. I don't want to get a copyright strike for playing someone else's stuff on YouTube. Even though that guy is a clown. I want to hear what Story has to say about the counselors yelling about the NFL being rigged. I'll get back to a couple questions. In the meantime, we all need Jesus to win the ship, whether he's real or not. Maybe the spaghetti monster. What do you got, Story? You like that video?
So the video is the NFL messing with fantasy football players, and the crux of the short is that the NFL is changing up or is purposely making it so that there's no star players because they don't want the guaranteed wide receiver one, running back one, because it's tied to sports betting because they don't want regular production. And his evidence is because Dontavian Wicks has done nothing all year, and then all of a sudden they start targeting him like a wide receiver one. He scores 2 touchdowns. He was saying earlier in the year it was Watson, it was Jacobs, it was Kraft, it was Musgrove.
Yeah,
he called him Musgrove.
Right, he doesn't know the names. You know what that is, Story? That's called game planning for your opponent, so they don't know what you're going to do. It's very simple.
Variance. It's called variance. Like, Wicks has always been a good athlete. His problem has always been holding onto the ball. If he's on that day and he's having it, like, think about it like you play golf, right? You've had games where you are really on your days where you're really on your game, right? And you're gonna go under par, and then you've had other days where you're like, I'm not really feeling it today. It's not that you're hungover in it; you're just not into it.
I have shot 68 one day, and literally the next day at the same course shot 82. Like, right. I know that's like only 14 strokes, but like that's 4 under par compared to 10 over par. That's a 91 compared to a 115 for like a 20 handicap, right?
And we should think with professional athletes that they should be more consistent because this is their profession. But they're still human beings, and they're still subject to the same things that, outside stressors that we are. So it's variance. I get why it's an easy narrative. We need, as human beings, we need We need to put things into little boxes. We need reasons that things happen. And sometimes it's just randomness. Sometimes random shit happens and there is no reason for it. Occasionally, Yoshibasa is going to catch a touchdown. Does that mean he's a good every week start when Higgins and Chase are healthy? No, it's just these things happen in that certain. We're dealing with a game that the ball is a prolate spheroid. It bounces in weird ways,
And the Wicks thing, like Wicks is a good player. He just can't catch. Like he's a pretty dynamic route runner. And what he's failing to understand is that it's real easy to like draw up plays for guys that aren't going to be double covered or kind of maybe can sneak out and be, on the third corner, things like that. Like he just doesn't understand ball. And like, it'd be one thing if Wicks was playing 90% of the snaps and Jaden Reed got 30% one game if Reed was healthy, like things like that. But like, it's just, you can make cases for everything. But like, the point is we know the truth. And like fantasy football is a random game. Football is a random game. Nothing is guaranteed. And like, that's why you need to just target guys that have opportunity. And like, I guess what he's saying is the opportunity is more random, but it's because every team has a lot of good players. Also, you don't know if guys are injured.
But he's not saying that the opportunity is random. He's saying that the NFL is purposely in bed with some nefarious actors in order to rig performances of certain players, which I just don't agree with. I think there's individually, maybe some things are happening, but in terms of a league-wide conspiracy, number one, it'd be impossible to keep under wraps. Number two, there's too much money to be made from legitimate. I get why people see or speculate, but I guarantee you it's not happening on a league-wide scale.
You know what's also really good for business in the NFL? Star players.
That's
true. You want star players. You don't want Yoshibasa scoring touchdowns. Wouldn't you rather have, you want St. Brown scoring touchdowns. You want Jamar Chase scoring touchdowns. Like, that's good for football. So his point is just wrong. Hetzer, Kobe Parkinson over Dallas Goedert. This is a touchy one. Because we have no Tyler Higbee.
I'm not going there. Kobe Parkinson, 4 for 27. I know it's bad with Dallas Goedert, but I'm not I'm not going there.
Me neither. If it's another week of this, I might consider it. But you're also still sharing. Davis Allen's still there. Ferguson's still there. It's a 3-way committee. Yes, Parkinson's the number 1 there, but he's only playing 65% of the snaps. Dallas Goedert's still out there 90% of the time, and he is just as likely, if not more likely, to catch a touchdown than Parkinson. Michael, his son got out this week. He has a question. He's definitely out. St. Brown is all but ruled out. Correct.
I mean, he's not, from a league perspective, he's not all but ruled out, but I would say there is a 1% chance that he plays this week. And he's going to be questionable until probably the day before. It sucks because the NFL, they don't have to announce guys out until like 90 minutes before if they don't want to. Some coaches think they have a competitive advantage, but that's just the way it goes.
What do you think about Brissett this week? So let's see who they have. Cardinals they're at home against the Rams. I think Brissett's pretty matchup proof, man.
You think so?
I mean, the nice thing is you're going to always have good game scripts. He's going to throw the ball 48 times.
That's true.
So
you're probably
the worry is if it's -3 for a pick, right? If you have a league that really punishes turnovers,
even
that's where you could get a bit.
Even -2 could be damaging in that regard.
Yeah.
Speaking of star players, what's great for star players is when they get targeted more than 4 times. Like, hey, Brosmer, I know you're in a tough spot, but maybe you could force the ball to Justin Jefferson because he's your star player. Maybe Hawkinson's got great hands, but what's he really doing for you? Like, why is Hawkinson getting double the targets that Justin Jefferson did? Like, the game should have been like Jefferson. We're gonna force it to Jefferson. I don't care what it is. Like,
well, it's wild. Remember the DeAndre Hopkins Houston days where all they had, right? They had no other receivers around him. They had no court. It was a carousel of shit around him at quarterback, and he was just putting up these gigantic numbers. And I know DeAndre Hopkins is an all-timer. Well, so is Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson's probably better than Hopkins, and different kind of receivers, I suppose, but. Dude, definitely. Jefferson can win on every route.
Yeah, there was. I went back and looked. Other than his rookie year, I want to find out because there was one down year that Hopkins had. Let's see here, year by year. There was one. I'd have to find it. Anyway, move on. Well, I'll find it. And find out who that quarterback was.
Tight side, Dak and Burrow in a stack either way. Do I just have to play matchups with them? Yeah, I mean, who do you prefer? If you had to choose rest of season, Dak or Burrow, I mean, you got T. Higgins coming back. I mean, Dak's on fire, man.
And Dak, Burrow's healthy, and that's good. Dak's playing as well as any pocket passer right now, so I think I got to stick with Dak.
Are you sitting Saquon? I mean, I don't think we're going that far, but like the numbers would say sit him because he's not doing anything.
Yeah, no, I would not sit him. Okay, so 2016. So yeah, so there's a dip before he got to Arizona, and that's when he started to tail off. He did have 1,000 yards at Tennessee. So other than his rookie year, where he had 802, it was 12, 10, 15, 21, and then 954. So he had a dip in 2016. Seeing Houston Texans, and
it was huge. It was huge. It was 100 catches a year, man.
Yeah. Let's see who the quarterbacks were. Oh man, even before there. Quarterbacks: Tom Savage, Brock Osweiler, and Brandon Weeden. So
Tom Savage, dude.
Yeah.
Isn't that the dude from Boy Meets World?
Yeah. I don't remember the guy's name. Yeah. So even though he still received 150 targets, but he only had 78 receptions for 954 yards and 4 touchdowns. There you go. You can still pepper somebody with targets, I guess, but if those are bad targets, you're only getting a looks like a 70% catch rate. That's obviously
we were talking on the show last night about Justin Jefferson's next year. Let's say they just bring in, I'm trying to think of a name, or let's say they just roll with JJ McCarthy, and we were talking end of the first round, still early second. Matt Harmon was saying he wouldn't be surprised if it was mid third with what we've seen. Which I would be all over that, right?
Mid-third what?
For Justin Jefferson's draft
stock next year. That's about what I was expecting where he would go.
That's wild, though.
It is wild. They're not rolling into the offseason with JJ McCarthy and Max Brosmer or into training camps next year with those two dudes. It's just not happening. So it's a draft.
I don't think Brosner is going to be on a roster next year if he does this again.
He might not be on the roster at the end of this year. But they're also not just going to try to build this through the draft either. They're going to sign somebody. They're going to sign a veteran. So that's good for Justin Jefferson. I'm all over Justin Jefferson in the third next year because it literally cannot be worse than this combination of McCarthy and Brosmer.
What if it was Geno Smith?
Yeah, I would take that. I think that'd be good for him. Geno Smith.
Yeah, Geno's awesome.
Well, I mean, he's not. He's part of the problem in Las Vegas this year too.
He's awesome compared to JJ McCarthy.
Yes, I would say if you were comparing those two,
that is insane.
That's your scale.
That is insane.
The other thing is it's a bad offensive line. It's a bad obviously it was a bad coordinator because Chip Kelly's gone now. It's a bad head coach. There's a lot of problems there, but Geno kind of understands the assignment. Get the ball to your playmaker, and that's Brock Bowers.
State Grinder had a 98% chance to win before tonight's game. He had Hunter Henry, and Pat's defense. I had Henderson. Ooh, Pat's defense went off. They went off.
They had a good
return game, dude.
Yeah, got that return touchdown. Got that turnover where the dude got absolutely smoked. Olszewski, I think his name is. He
gone. Yeah, he gone. He's a veggie. Wally. Kittle's on bye next week. Who to pick up off waivers? Fannin, Ertz, Strange, full PPR.
Probably Fannin.
I'm liking what I see from Fannin, dude. I like what I see from Fannin. I know Ertz and Strange had the good games this week, but Fannin is, if you look at the snap shares, man, and Njoku's playing less and less, and I am just thinking that eventually they'll shut him down because he's always questionable midweek with that ankle injury. Why not just say, hey, buddy, thank you for the service. We didn't trade you. We got to see Fannin play. He already is. I think Fannin played upwards of 90% of the snaps.
Fannin played over 90% of the snaps, and Njoku was under 50%, and clearly the second tight end option there. So yeah, Fannin is I mentioned it already. He's but he's a damn near every snap player. So Fannon's the guy in PPR and half. In full PPR, I'm still going Fannin, but if you want a second option, I'd probably go Ertz over Strange just because Strange is getting some yardage, but Ertz, man, those targets, like you can't. Those don't grow on trees.
Titan Style said, I'd rather have that rule, the one pickup per week, than vetoes on trades. I would rather have vetoes on trades. I don't want either. But now he's saying everyone in his league will veto every single trade no matter what. See, that's just, at that point, then just make it no trades. Like, if you can't even get a trade through, even if it's fair, like, why even have trades? And that's why you have to have some system. That's not a good system. If it's like-minded people, Story, like, so I guess I got to think of this, Story. When we do our community leagues, our leagues next year, let's say we do 5 of them. I think we're going to just implement no vetoes, but there's a point where if you're 3-8, right? 3-8, and that's the last week of the deadline, and you're not mathematically eliminated, but you try making a trade. You tried trading St. Brown for 2 players, like, to the first place team. I know, like, this is all the people in this. I don't know. We got to figure out a way to have a group of, like, a 3-way committee that votes on these things, because we can't be having that. I won't have that in my leagues.
I think, honestly, because it's a great community, but the fact of the matter is it's still mostly strangers. I think we got to roll with no trades. Like, I just think.
No, we can't do no trades. That's bullshit. We can't do that. We can't do that. We'll figure out something. We'll put it to a vote. That's what I do in all my leagues. Put it to vote, and then the community decides.
I'm not a voting guy. Like, the way I run my league.
Story's not even in the leagues. He's like, I'm out. If there's any trade stuff, I'm out.
I'm saying, like, you're like, I'll put it to a vote. I'm like, this is my, like, hey, the people elected me. They didn't elect me. This is my league. I'm the dictator of this league. All right. I make the rules here. If you don't like it, there's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out. This is the way we do things in my leagues. Okay. Just ram it through. If you don't like it, go find a Fantrax league.
Jesus. Rasheed Rice may be a first rounder next year. Absolutely. Rasheed Rice is a first rounder. He would have been a first rounder this year.
I don't think so. I still don't think so.
PPR, dude. Money.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. Like, think about the names in the first round next year. Like,
well, you got JJ out of there, right?
Yeah, JJ will for sure be gone. Karen will be gone.
CeeDee Lamb now with Pickens. So Jay has a question here. What about what round for Pickens? So now you have both those guys kind of pillaging,
This is like the Antonio Brown, Mike Wallace situation.
Well, I could foresee, remember how there was I think it was 2 years ago, it was like 2 running backs in the first round and like 9 fucking receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that coming back around this year because we've been burned on these running backs, dude.
John Robinson, Devon Achane, Christian McCaffrey. There's 4 running backs right off the bat. 4 right there. Dude,
if anyone's taking Christian McCaffrey next year in the first round after he gets 430 touches, I don't know. You need some help, dude.
I'm
not touching him.
I'll bet you $1 million that CMC goes in the first 6 picks next year.
Well, I won't be doing it.
I get it. I'm just telling you where he will go. People are reactive. They're not proactive. So there's 4 right there. CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So there's 8 right there.
Dude, would CeeDee Lamb go ahead of Rasheed Rice, though? Because Bandit has the comment here. What about Pickens? Like, Pickens has outproduced him when they've been on the field together since the injury.
Well, there's no guarantee that Pickens will be in Dallas next year, number 1.
They're gonna franchise tag him, dude. He's gonna pout.
Yeah. Maybe he holds out, too. And we've seen how well holdouts work. Drake London, is he a first-round pick next year?
Well, not with what's the quarterback situation looking like? Because it ain't gonna be Penix.
It will not,
right?
Yeah, probably not.
Titan says, Rob, how can you say it's gonna be okay? I've been suffering through Saquon every week, and my hope is dwindling. Because they have to figure it out. That the Eagles have to figure it out, and the reason they won the Super Bowl last year was Saquon Barkley. It wasn't Jalen Hurts. It wasn't A.J. Brown. It was the defense and Saquon Barkley having an all-time season. And that goes with his volume. That goes with setting up the pass. Right now, if you're going to try to rely on Jalen Hurts, like beating teams through the air without like play action or a threat, and right now they're not even stacking the box against Saquon. They're just stacking the box against the pass. And like, you got to do something to move this defense around. And like, Saquon's an elite talent, man. He doesn't look as good. I will say that. What are we, 80% of himself? 80% of last year, 70% of last year?
Yeah, he does not look as good. And I think a lot of that is just the toll that many touches, because he went, a full offseason, including Super Bowl, or a full postseason, including Super Bowl. Maybe 70%, but either way, like, is Sirianni a good coach? If he is, he should figure this thing out.
I don't think he's a very good coach. I mean, I know you don't think anyone's a good coach.
I mean, then what's your faith in Saquon Barkley and the Eagles saying they have to figure it out? Like, if you don't think he's a very good coach, what makes you think that they're going to change anything now?
They're on a 2-game losing streak, and it's not the losses, it's how they're losing these games. And even go back to that game against the Lions at home. That was such a terrible game. Go back to the Packers game on Sunday Night Football. That was such a terrible game. Like, these are winning ugly games, and they're just not even like they're a bounce here, a bounce there away from losing these games. They're winning. So in that Bears game, we manhandled the fuck out of them, dude. That was that was something we didn't see coming, man. And congratulations to our Bears.
And credit goes to Ray for calling that one. No, he was the Eagles. He was the Bears over the Eagles. I'm sure he was Bears over Lions too, though.
Yeah. Michael, I'm kind of right there with you, man, about, being in the playoffs and not feeling great about your team. And in my situation, it's because I had such a hot start with and then Kraft and Scatterbo and London and some of my guys going down, and I'm not having like at least most of those guys going forward. And your team just isn't good. And if, I got some decent pickups, but like Michael Wilson, guys like Ed and Mitchell, like, are those, I'd much rather have better names, like when I'm in the playoffs, and guys that are question marks.
Hey man, I feel like I'm limping into the playoffs in every single league that I'm in. Even the leagues that I got buys in, I feel like I'm limping in. Like,
that's what I'm saying. But
you're probably not alone. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling this way.
But here's the advantage: if you do have a bye, we have week 14 coming up. We have week 15, so you have 2 weeks of stuff that could change. That's why it's important to stack your bench with guys. Don't waste bench spots. It needs to be your Blake Corums of the world that could change your fortunes. If you just add, if you're one player away, obviously you still have a good team. If you have a bye, you still have a top half team, maybe a top 3 team. It might not be the best team in the league, but you add a Blake Corum or Tyler Algier as a starter for a week or two in the playoffs. Now you might have the best team in the league because now you have an RB1, right? And like, even other guys, Isaiah Likely, right? Like if you have a weak tight end, instead of rostering Parkinson as your second tight end, roster Isaiah Likely, because if Mark Andrews goes down in the next 2 weeks, guess what? You have an upgrade over Dallas Goedert. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
A guy like that, you know what I mean? Instead of just a guy that's like Bretton Strange, who's your second tight end is nice, but like if you have Dallas Goedert and Bretton Strange, you're just never going to know who to start. I'd rather just roster Isaiah Likely because you have 2 weeks that don't matter at all. And then a guy that could literally, his value could increase threefold just based on one injury. And you have 2 weeks for it to happen.
Like, I don't even know that there's a need for a second tight end. Like, even Likely, with the way that offense is performing, I mean, bear in mind, that was against the Bengals. They're the worst team against tight ends. So is that likely to repeat? Even if Mark Andrews goes down, he has not been the same player that it was even last year. So
they need him. They need the tight ends. They have no receivers, man. Bateman looks like a shell of himself. DeAndre Hopkins isn't playing enough. Like, they got nothing, man. They got nothing.
Yeah, but
they have nothing in the running back room either. By the way, do you see that how many snaps Derrick Henry played in that game?
Was it like, I don't know, 50%?
Well, it was 24 snaps. He was in the field 24 plays. 40%.
40%. I did see them ask Harbaugh about it, and he's like, that's obviously not the numbers that we want to see, but the game dictated that we were in 2-minute drill, 3 and out, and it's like nobody challenged him on the fact that like it was 9-7 at one point. You were down by 2 points,
dude. He's on the fucking bench. He's got a jacket on.
And what if he was like talking about the second quarter where they went 3 and out, and nobody's like, well, why wasn't Derrick Henry on the field for those 3 and outs? Maybe he wouldn't have gone 3 and out then. Like, that clip with the guy in the hot dog costume when he drove the hot dog through the store, and he's like, everybody here is trying to figure out the guy who did it. Well, Harbaugh, what do you do there if you're not in charge of the personnel that goes on the field? You're leaving everything up to what's his name, the offensive coordinator up there, Todd Monken, right? Yeah. Like, what are you even doing there? Why are we paying you if this is what like the answer? He's been given non-answers for years, man. He's done. He is. I don't want to sound like the counselor, but he's toast. There's zero reason the Ravens should be keeping him on at this point. He's bringing nothing to that team.
Yeah, I mean, he has a track record and he's respected. That's about it. Titan Style says Cohen is such an ass.
Track record anymore? Like Lamar has been willing in the playoffs. Lamar's been willing in the playoffs.
And their GM. No, their front office has been willing in the playoffs.
Exposed.
They draft amazing, dude.
Dude, if I was the GM, I would call in Harbaugh and be like, what was that press? Why is Rasheen Ali, our 4th string running back, why is he on the field for as many snaps as Derrick Henry? I want answers right now. You better tell Monty to get his shit together or else it's your ass.
You're both canned. So Titan Style says Cohen is such an ass coach. He's actually an awesome coach because look what he's doing with Trevor Lawrence. ETN is the best running back there. I would agree, but it's not like I don't think Travis Etienne's very good. He's fast.
He was good, but he's certainly lost a step recently, this year at least.
No, dude, was he ever good? He had one good year. Other than that, the 1 year was based on having 280 touches. He averaged 3.9 yards per carry. Now, I'm not a yards per carry guy, but I'm also an eye test guy, and Travis Etienne has some of the worst vision I've ever seen from a running back. Like, you agree? He's one of the worst goal line efficiency runners I've ever seen. He runs into the back of his offensive lineman, Storey, like a bunch of times, dude.
I don't think he's that bad. I think he's a pretty good running back.
I don't think he's bad. He's very twitchy. He's very fast. He's very athletic, and he should be such a better receiving down back. But he's got like some Jamison Williams to his game, if that makes any sense as a running back. Like he just is kind of a knucklehead, dude.
No, I think he's a pretty good back. I think that age is. I mean, I hate to say age is caught up with a 26-year-old running back, but he certainly lost a step. But I think he's still a very good running back. I don't know where the hate is coming from on this one.
I don't hate him. I just think he's not clearing away. Like Tootin's a better talent at this point, but he's also a rookie. So that's why I get why he's playing ahead of him. But like ETN should never be, he's not an 80% snap share player. He doesn't have that profile. And he also doesn't have the body type to hold up for that.
I mean, they certainly treated him like a bell cow 2 years ago.
No, they have. I just feel like there's only a certain amount of guys in the league that deserve that 80% number. And that's Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson doesn't even get 80% somehow. Not talking about bad coaching.
Nobody
God,
does.
more now that guy's terrible. Have you seen his record?
Raheem Morris? I'm sure it's like
third worst. It's up there with Romeo Cornell. Is like guys that have lost because it's like 50 losses. So that means you stayed around for a while. He has the third worst winning percentage with 50 plus losses in NFL history. So it's not good. Is Rabel coach of the year? Ben Johnson, I think.
I mean, they lost. How many games did they lose last year? 13?
A lot. Yeah, good call. Good call.
They just capped off a 10-game winning streak. Like, how can you not call him? I wonder if the MVP odds shifted because of both Stafford.
Yeah.
I bet they did. But yeah, I mean, I bet he's like the huge favorite to win Coach of the Year.
Dude, I think Drake May was 50-1 to start the year because Bill Simmons was talking about it. And it's like a joke kind of because he's a Patriots fan. Like a joke, but not a joke. 50-1, man. Now you got the favorite. I bet Stafford was behind.
Now I would bet it too. Now he's minus 135 and Stafford is plus 125. So
damn, bro.
Comeback player of the year, Dak Prescott leading the league there. Jonathan Taylor, Myles Garrett, well, obviously. Carson Schlesinger. Tedderall McMillan is the leader for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Jackson Dart is right behind him. Where's Coach of the Year? Anyway, yeah. Vision specials, team specials. Okay.
God, that's wild. So Titan Style, my first three were Saquon, Neighbors, and Ladd. He turned Ladd into Jamar Chase. Like, how did that happen? Because, like, Ladd was really bad to start the year. And, like, Jamar Chase, I guess that you had Joe Burrow out, but, like, that doesn't matter. It's Jamar Chase. Holy fuck. Like, I was actually kind of high on Ladd early on, but let's see. Wally, Robert, the t-shirts in the process, or what's the next for the merch drop? Yeah, man, they are. I actually have to do for this month. I have to do another giveaway here. So I'll do a giveaway for December, and then I'll do one for every month. I do one, but I'm not going to send it out till January. I got to wait for the holidays to end because they charge me so much goddamn money to ship the hats I shipped out. It's like $13 to fucking ship a hat, and the hats are already $30. So like, I'll just send them in January when it's like $5. So whoever wins in December, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll send it in the Discord. So there'll be 2 hats sending out in January. Pickens going to be Dallas.
Vrabel's a 1-2 favorite for Coach of the Year right now.
Is Ben Johnson second?
Yeah, plus 250. McDonald third at plus 650. How about that? I can't believe Shane Steichen's not getting more love. He's plus 2,500. I might throw a little on there.
I think everyone knows that the Colts are in free fall. Like, it's just not going to last. You think they'd leave that as odds up there, though?
Yeah, free fall. I wouldn't call it free
fall. We think Pickens will be in Dallas next year. He's going to require as much, if not more, than CD. What do you think he means by he's going to require money-wise? No, he's not going to get as much, but he's a 1-year sample. CD had a 3-year sample. Right. But he's going to want to get paid like that. He's going to want to, Storey.
He will. And again, that's why I hesitate to think that he'll be in Dallas next year.
Well, they can just franchise tag him. He has no control over that. And I don't think he's a player that can't afford to hold out because all the character issues he had coming out of Georgia and then what happened with fucking in Pittsburgh. Like, he can't afford any more blemishes on his already spotty rap sheet in terms of just his as a teammate, as a character guy, as a, just as a person. He's not a bad dude. He's not out there committing crimes, but
you say that now, but like, I don't know. Like, we'll see. I have to believe that he'll do what's in the best interest for himself, which might mean a holdout. Which you don't like that. I don't like holdouts.
It'd be a good spot for him in like a funny spot and a good spot. The Raiders.
God, that would be hilarious.
But no, it'd be a funny spot because the Raiders are just. If you have any troubled guy, do not go to the Raiders. Go to Vegas, and then maybe bring Henry Ruggs is out of jail, right?
No.
I think he is. I think it wasn't that long, dude. I think he's out.
No way he's in jail. Dude, he killed a woman and her dog.
Yeah, I know. The dog is really bad. Yeah, he's out, I think, dude. It was only like 8 years and he's getting out this year.
Legal proceedings. So he's working at the Nevada Governor's Mansion while serving his sentence under the Community Trustee Inmates Program. Up for parole in 2026, eligible for credit for time served as part of his work program. So he's on a work program right now.
Ah.
Yeah.
He might be out next year then.
Sentence between 3 and 10 years at High Desert State Prison. So I don't know what this Community Trustee Inmates Program means. Does he live at the Governor's Mansion? Does he live at home and he reports there and that's all he can do? I don't know. But either way, like, he's not clear legally.
Yeah, I thought he was out. He's almost out. Trone says I need to drop some. Well, hey, the point is Bill Cosby got out of jail, so I think Ruggs will get out of jail. I need to drop someone to free up.
He got out of jail, so twice.
Well, he didn't even get sentenced to jail the first time. He needs to drop someone from McLaurin. Would you drop Corum, Gainwell, or Bigsby? I have Barkley and Jalen Warren.
Bigsby. I dropped Bigsby. I don't think that, just based on the way the Eagles are playing and the fact that Bigsby is now even splitting the backup duties with Will Shipley, leads me to believe that it would be a full-blown committee there, and you're probably not going to want any part of it. It sucks, but yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be, he would get maybe 60% of the work, which is tempting with the Eagles offense that we think it could be. But I'm not dropping Blake Corum, and the fact that you have Jalen Warren, who's still a little hobbled right now. And also I think the most playable of all those guys week to week is Kenneth Gainwell.
I mean, yeah, Gainwell's a fringe PPR play in deeper leagues. Warren's certainly the preferred start there.
I would say this, Julian. The creativity of the Eagles running game is like the least creative in the league, and they should be the most creative because they have Jalen Hurts and they have a lot of things they can do. They just like literally hand the ball off to him and be like, "Hey, man, go hit that hole in the middle." When there is no hole, like dude, run a counter play. Have they run any counters this year? Have you seen any counters? Any sweeps? Any tosses?
Like, just run some outside zone shit. Like, anything to get
anything.
Get some space. Yeah, he's bad, man. He's bad. But what's his name? Sirianni's sticking with Petrulo. He said that, and I think it's a bad decision. It makes me worried. Like, it makes me worried for Devonta Smith. It makes me worried for Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert. Seems like AJ Brown's going to get his because he was a squeaky wheel. So, listen, man, I gotta hang it up. I got an early meeting tomorrow. But
all good, buddy.
Yeah. So we'll reconvene. Chat, always, I know we got way off topic this week, but I'll be back after the Thursday night game, and we'll answer all your questions for the weekend coming up. So
thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Get
Take
some
care.
sleep.
Yep.
Later. All right, Trone. I currently have Bo Nix for darts bye next week. Would you play Nix versus Vegas or drop Nix for Love versus the Bears or Trevor versus Indy? Dude, I think I'm sticking with Bo Nix. And dude, you need to keep 2 quarterbacks on this roster with what Storey was saying with darts. Just inability to get down. I don't know if he's going to finish this season. They're going to try to, but definitely want Bo Nix there. I've been saying I don't understand why. Yeah, Saquon's running usage is crazy. GT, start Michael Wilson, Charbonnet, Godwin, or Pierce. Michael Wilson, man. If Marvin Harrison's out, it seems like Marvin Harrison's definitely out. He has a heel issue. On top of that, he just had his appendix removed. Like, I think they might shut him down for a while. So Michael Wilson. Now, if Marvin Harrison plays, I'm gonna go Chris Godwin, especially if it's full PPR. Lamar, Buka, Genti are all getting benched this week. Crazy. I wouldn't be benching any of those guys. That's maybe how I play fantasy, but Lamar, I like the matchup against Pittsburgh, man. Their defense is terrible, and they can't run the ball right now, so it's going to be on Lamar's shoulders. Buka still had 8 targets last week. He's still getting 8 targets a game, and Baker's looking somewhat healthy. I'm surprised at how good he looked. And Genti is getting all the snaps right now, and he had 7 targets last week as a running back like that. God, I wish Storey would have stayed on for a second so I could have peed. That would have been nice. They gotten Gibby for him. Let's see. Well, Titan style, I'm not saying Saquon will be fine based on where you drafted him. I'm saying he's still an RB2. Like, so I would still play him over DeAndre Swift. I know, like, Swift is splitting work, and like the Bears aren't going to be this amazing. Like, they have the Packers this week, so I'd rather have Saquon than DeAndre Swift. Is kind of where I would have Saquon ranked. Like, he's number 18, number 17. I'm a little higher on him than most, but I think that he's just due. He's due for 1. For 2, he played every snap, dude. He was in the field like 58 snaps last week. It's gonna pop. At the very least, they're gonna get him a couple touchdowns because he's not scored in a while. I don't know where J-Bob was in here early on. I haven't seen him around in a little bit. Julian says someone offered me Bijan. I'm saying that's not the contrary. Bijan while he was on his cold streak and a Dunze for Saquon. Heyo. Oh, you didn't do it. Damn it. I would want Bijan all day, man. In the first 3 weeks, I was offered JSN, Gibbs, and Kamara for Neighbors and Quan. That would have been nice. There's a way to do it, man. Like I said, in my league, we have no vetoes, but it's my I have the ability as a commissioner in my leagues. That's how I make it. But I also reach out to people in the league before I veto something. And I also reach out to the parties involved. And once you're eliminated from playoff contention, you're not trading. Like, you're not even, once the playoffs start, if you're not in the playoffs, you can't make a move. You can't make like a free agent wire move. But no, if you're eliminated or if you're 1 game away from being eliminated, it's week 9, you're not making a trade because you can't convince me why you want to make this trade because the season's over for you. Sorry, man. Like, unless it's a fair trade. Like, if it's, I don't know, DeAndre Swift or Kyle Monungai, okay, whatever. Like, they're both equal value. And I know that's like our judgment on those things, but there can't be no trades in the league. That's stupid. Also, you can't have every trade goes through no matter what because then you have collusion. If I use a $200 salary cap draft and then no trades is the way to go. Yeah, but trades still help because, like, if you pick up, let's say you pick up Jackson Dart this year in a super flex league and you already had 2 good quarterbacks, like, and someone wants another quarterback, both teams can win the trade, right? If you picked up Gatson and you had Travis Kelce and like Kelsey's doing well and it's a 14-team league, like, someone's going to want your backup tight end. Like, you should be able to reap the benefits from your smart moves. There's got to be a way to do it. And I think that no vetoes is better than having vetoes where you have, stupid ass league mates vetoing every trade, which I just hate. I hate. If a quarterback is Penix, there's no way London isn't a first rounder. Yeah, Penix is not playing early in the year though, Julian. Like, he'll be there, but like that was a late ACL injury, dude. Like, that's really late. He's also torn his ACL 2 times prior in college. So Penix is probably going to be out till at least week 6. Let's see. I hope you get a competent play caller, although maybe not because then you guys are too dangerous. First round of the playoffs, I play someone with CMC, Gibbs, and JSN. But you're saying it starts this week, so you have no CMC there. So that's a nice break for you. Oh, 100%, man. I don't want to stash DJ Moore, especially if it's a 10-team league or if you have a stacked receiver core. Ain't no reason, dude. DJ Moore is still playing more snaps than any receiver there, but Luther Burden's trending up to 50% of the snaps every week now, and he's kind of taking those, I want to call them gadget plays away from DJ Moore, but he is definitely playing the slot and getting some high-value targets that DJ Moore just not getting. Bengals have the worst run D in the league, and they barely give him the ball. You talk about Derrick Henry. Yeah, dude. And also, Lamar's hurt. So, like, maybe just hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, and it's cold out. Like, that's Derrick Henry's prime time season, dude. December, baby. Let's see. Maybe it happens this week. I don't think so, though. Cardinals need to have Bidwell sell the team. Cardinals have a lot of problems, man. Kyler Murray is the number one problem there. Michael, I have May, Genty, Hampton, Nico, Abuka, Devonta Smith, Trey McBride, benches, DJ, Monty, Manungai. I like it, man. May, well, Hampton is not really going to be there. I don't know. Hampton does not look good for Hampton. Even if he comes back this week, which I don't think he does, you can't play him this week. You can't play him next week. Maybe next week. Maybe week 15. I like your bench, though, man. Monty, Manungai, Tootin, Devin Neal, Tet on your bench. I like that too. JML League has 3 teams at 8-5 and 6 teams at 7-7 and 3 eliminated. 8 teams got in with no bye. 8 teams get in with no bye. So it's going to be a shit show is what you're saying. Yeah, dude. Myers, baby. Best kicker in the league, man. I have a bunch of teams with a Seattle and Myers stack, and it's beautiful, man. It is beautiful. And I will say they have the Rams in the fantasy playoffs. Not really looking forward to that, but we just saw, Matt Stafford throw some picks to the Panthers, so I'm not too worried. Let's see here. Yeah, Beckel. He has Scatabo on IR because he's good for the team. He is a great locker room guy, and like, dude, that is if I want anyone on my IR spot for no reason, it's going to be him. I'd rather have him than Mike Evans, for instance. Now, Mike Evans actually might come back. I might have been wrong. I might have whipped on that one, buddy. But he's ramping up to practice. Probably won't see him this week, but we might see him week 15. GT, Jordan Mason's a must-add, man. We don't have any news about Aaron Jones right now. It does not look good. It looks like he might be donezo for the year. Also, why would they bring back an old player when the season's lost? So Jordan Mason for sure. Also, I like in half PPR. I like him a lot more. Obviously, he doesn't catch passes, but now, do I really want the Vikings running back like over a guy that's on a better team? No, but I don't mind Jordan Mason. So I think definitely need to be picked up. I use a waiver on him for sure. Eagles run the ball like Panthers run. Dowdle right up the middle, no blocks. Yeah, they've been running Dowdle. They've been giving Chuba the edge plays and Dowdle up the middle, so not really a fan of that one. GT, I'm holding on to both of them, but Michael Wilson for sure because, like I said, man, I don't know if Marvin Harrison's playing this week. I don't know if they're gonna slow play him now with the appendix and a heel injury. Those any heel injuries, they tend to linger, man, and they're not going anywhere this year. Marvin Harrison showed us a little bit this year that he didn't show us last year. Get well, Marvin, and let's just roll with Michael Wilson the rest of the year. I like Alec Pierce against the Jags. I got to look at the coverage stuff because I'm not too into that on every single matchup. Certain players you play no matter what, but I got to look at the Jags single high safety percentage. I'd say that the Colts receivers are the most sensitive to coverage shifts. And you can kind of predict it based on the coverage. So single high, Alec Pierce is the highest targeted player. Against 2 deep safeties, he does not get a lot of looks because he's the deep threat guy. That's Josh Downs' games and Michael Pittman's games. So I got to look at the Jags' defensive stuff before next week. Jerry's not curtain ass cost me. Yeah, dude, that fucking curtain call, like literally the curtain call, not having the curtain up, and that's happened multiple times in Jerry world where the sun just gets in these players' eyes. It's fucking bullshit. Jerry's an idiot. I don't think it's for the $10,000. I sure hope not. Would you start RJ Harvey over David Montgomery, right? 100%. I'm not into Harvey, but I definitely would do that. Need one running back to fill in for Rico. Sharp, Corum, Algier, Corum. Sharp, Corum, Algier, Corum. That's 2 Corums. I am going to go Charbonnet here. Just give me the guy that gets the most work. I'm stuck with Quan, ETN, Swift, and Manungai. It's fine. Dude, you're fine there. You're fine. Because you have the Bears backfield, and I like the first 2. Jets secondary is ass cheeks. Pierce will ball. Jag secondary is ass cheeks. Yeah, what's the coverage like there? I know it might not matter for their secondary, but let's see here. Can I drop Jags defense now? They have Jets week 15, but no, Jets defense is a must roster, man. Must roster because the matchup this week is nice. Because the Colts, Danny Dimes can't run right now. So you give a very, very immobile quarterback that's prone to making mistakes, and he can't get out of the pocket like he was. And the Jets is a good matchup too. What's going on, Mouth? About to wrap this up, man. Story got off, and it's been a long couple weeks, long couple months for me. But it'd be nice to have a show less than 2 hours. So that'd be fucking awesome. Corum or Algier, both are available. I'm thinking Algier. I like Corum more. Because I think Kyron's more likely to get hurt. Titan. Bijan has never been hurt at any level of football. So Kyron has an ankle injury right now. So you already have that. So give me Blake Corum. Mouth next week 14 win and I'm in. Damn straight. That's all we wanted, man, from your team. You came back from the depths of hell with all those trades and everything, Mouth. So that is awesome, dude. That is awesome. And man, so many. How many trades did you make, Mouth? Was it like 10, 9 trades? Hey-oh. See, I like doing that. You hedge your bet there, Jonathan. He said one league I was in playing, had the Pats kicker, needed 11 points to beat me, so I put 200 on the 9.5 kicker points over at 145 plus 145. So that's the win-win for you, dude. That's awesome, and you're still in the playoffs. So at 80 Mitchell, I have to pick him, Corum or Algier since DJ Moore is my only. Oh, I mean, I want the running backs over 80 Mitchell, but I love 80 Mitchell, his prospects going forward. But yeah, I would rather have the running backs though if you don't need a wide receiver. Tight. I don't know about Neighbors. I'd much rather have Scatabo as my IR locker room presence guy. Nothing against Neighbors, but Scatabo is like a hype man, right? What's going on, Unique? Marks or Chris Rodriguez rest of season? It's Woody Marks for sure. Chris Rodriguez is in a pretty nasty 3-way committee. You don't know which week they're going to choose to give JCM 30 or 40% of the snaps. He doesn't play passing downs. And if you told me that Jaden Daniels comes back in next week, and you told me that one of JCM or McNichols gets hurt, I would say Rodriguez. That's 2 things that have to happen. Woody Marks is still getting the lion's share of the work. I know it sucks that Chubb got the touchdown this week and Marks didn't. Marks is still playing 70% of the snaps, and he's on a team that's always playing from ahead, has an amazing defense, and he's actually pretty solid, especially in PPR. I'll say this: if it's standard Unique, I might want Chris Rodriguez, more likely to score touchdowns. Half PPR and definitely full PPR, Woody Marks. Oh, Mouth. That's a good call, man. Alec Pierce will fucking eat. This is easy for me. Javonte Williams, dude. Javonte Williams is getting all the work, and he has not scored a rushing touchdown. The last week, Thanksgiving was a receiving touchdown. He was just, what do you have, 6 or 7 rushing touchdowns the first 5 weeks of the year. He has not had one in a while. They will get back to that. I don't know about this week. Tough matchup this week. But Javonte is all the work, all the goal line work, and also gets 2 or 3 or 4 catches a game. So give me Javonte Williams. Oh, Bucks defense. Yeah, Bucks defense has good matchups every week, pretty much, Hetzer. So I guess you can drop him, yeah. Tyler Warren over Strange for sure. I know Tyler Warren had a bad game. Let's not forget, Tyler Warren was sick. He came into this game with an illness, and it showed, man. He didn't play nearly as many snaps as he usually does. He'll be just fine. Titan style, try to trade him Neighbors for Scat. Try to see if that trade goes through, because no trades go through, and if it's not a keeper league or a dynasty or whatever, see if they'll let you trade your IR guys. That'd be awesome. Mariota's crushing right now, though. Let's see. Probably IR slot Mike Evans or Jalen McMillan. I don't want Jalen McMillan at all. So I would be interested in Evans for sure, but not McMillan. There's too many mouths there, and I feel like Evans is going to come back before him anyway. I don't know if there's optimism, but the nice thing, Titan, is that Marks is getting 20 touches, and they seem to have moved off Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is just literally in there for breathers, and then every game, me and Storey have the joke that Woody Marks gets hurt, and he is like the Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, where he just always leaves the field grimacing and sometimes goes to the locker room and then just comes out like Paul Pierce in a fucking wheelchair 10 minutes later, and he just gets back in the game and looks fine. So I don't know if he's dramatic or what's going on. He's a small dude, but he always comes back in the game. I can't wait for this Thursday night game, man. Jones actually played well. He did play well. I'm just concerned with his lack of mobility, Mouth. ETN's going to get a ton of touches this weekend. He gets a lot of touches every week, pretty much. He just hasn't been. The problem is there, man, is Tutin's getting the goal line work. He's getting the majority of the goal line work, and LaQuint Allen's getting the third down snaps. So, like, it's a soft three-way committee. It's not quite what the Commanders are running with their three-way committee, but it is still a three-way committee there. You should ask them if they have an exception just because you're trading IR guys. It'd be funny. Dak or Knicks? It's Dak, Bills fam. We're starting Dak every week, regardless of matchup. My league's trade deadline is on the 3rd at 2 p.m. I wish mine lasted longer. St. Brown's probably out, Wally. I'd say 90% chance St. Brown's out, maybe more. And he might miss next week, too. We haven't had any reports, but I know he didn't practice today, and if he played Sunday, if the game was Sunday, I'd say he was more of a 75% chance he misses because he'd have the extra 3 days to rest. But, man, it just doesn't look good. And so he will have 10 days to rest up before the next game. So if London comes back week 12, is he a for sure guy to start right away, even against the Seahawks? I don't like the matchup there and the injury and the limited snaps possibly. But, yeah, he's in the top 36 conversation for sure first week. And then I'm going to downgrade him based on his injury, based on Kirk Cousins compared to what he was before. Obviously, he was a top 5 receiver for those weeks. He'd be in the mid-range wide receiver 2s for me, which is still a must-start in my mind. And London has really good touchdown upside. It's just, can Kirk Cousins move that team down the field? Titan, I have Dak, Pickens, and J-Mo. Well, you don't know. I mean, trust me, we've seen these weeks where this game should be a shootout. You never know. Like, I know it seems awesome, but the other guy could have player go off for 4 touchdowns. Ladd or Ibuka, man, that is so tough. Bills, that's a wash. I don't know. I probably still want Ibuka just because the uncertainty there with the Chargers. With we don't know if Herbert's playing. We don't know how effective he'll be when he plays. He's missing Slater and he's missing two left tackle and right tackle. He's missing Slater and why can't I think of the other guy? What am I destroying his optimism about how he's going to destroy? Just famous last words, man. Are you talking rest of the season or this week? So this week it's Ibuka, and rest of the season is probably Ibuka. The only reason I wouldn't say it's Ibuka is the chance that Baker could get re-injured, but we already have Justin Herbert injured as we speak. So give me the guy that has the healthier quarterback and the healthier O-line. Oh, this week, yeah, we're going Ibuka. He still had 8 targets last week, and they spread the ball around so much there in LA. Don't start the Jags D this week. So you think it's a bounce back week. Listen to Mal South when he talks. By the way, Mal South, Downtown Sports Gentleman, link in the description. Check out his show. If you want real NFL analysis, I'm not saying mine isn't real. Ours is fantasy analysis typically. He's in the NFL faction where he's just talking NFL ball. And I'm talking player prop bets. He is talking NFL line bets and which side to take, money line, stuff like that. So I definitely check that out. It's a great show. Downtown Sports, 23 platforms in the description. Check it on out. Titan, you're not going to find a bigger George Pickens fan than me. I have him in actually not as much as I like, maybe 7 leagues this year. But he was a PP of mine, a pillar player of mine, and Storey's. So I love George Pickens. I loved him since Georgia. The talents. I don't necessarily like the guy because he's kind of a clown. I'm just saying, you never he could put up a dud. I doubt it would happen, but I've played fantasy enough years to just never there's no certainties in fantasy football. Never. There's never certainty. So also I think it's kind of a bad omen to say that. I'll say that to my friends though. I have to start DJ this week with Drake May on bye. The nice thing is you have Drake May. Drake May is a stud. Trey Lance is either starting this week or actually more concerning if you do have Herbert. You can't start him this week because they said he's not going to be able to take snaps from under center. So on the goal line, in terms of like red zone inside the 5 or 10 yard line, they're going to bring in Trey Lance. They said they're going to be working him out on those packages at least. So either way, that is like, I'm not saying that's confirmed either, but that report came out. So that's going to really hurt all the prospects of the offense because Trey Lance will just run the ball in the end zone and they're just going to be less effective around the goal line. Gatson versus Philly or Fannin? Fannin for sure, dude. Fannin for sure. MVP is either going to be JSN or, honestly, I think Javonte Williams needs to be up there too. I know he's been struggling a little bit. He was such a late draft pick, man. Obviously, Drake May is up there. But, man, I mean, you can almost say, depending on what happens, Trey McBride could be that guy. I know Trey McBride was a third-round pick. But if he continues this legendary run he's on of like 8 catches a game, he's catching touchdowns, that could be the dude. I have drafted Pickens 3 straight years everywhere. So, and Zay Flowers was that guy for a couple years for me, and that just hasn't happened. But I love the what Pickens offers as a fantasy receiver. Fannin or Ertz this week, man. It's probably Ertz mouth. That guy's crushing right now. Yeah, Chris Olave was, and I think Pickens actually is maybe the answer of the question. Olave and Pickens. Olave is number 10 or 11 in PPR, and then Pickens is number 3 or number 4 for receiver. And they were both drafted in the 6th, 7th round. So Warren or Bowers? Bowers. I mean, the Denver matchup, Bills, they just gave up 10 catches to Zach Ertz. So they're a lot tougher to beat on the outside than they are up the middle or in terms of their defense. Now, Singleton is back, which is crazy. Singleton was back in this game, and they still gave up 10 catches to Ertz. So let's talk about Ted and Ibuka. Ted is coming off a 1-catch, 2-target game. Just so happens that it's a 43-yarder. I'm going Ibuka over Tet. I'm not. Ibuka's so due. It's been so rough, man, but he's been playing through an injury. He doesn't quite look the same, but he's getting all the snaps, all the targets. I just hope they move him into the slot a little bit. He's been playing like 85% outside, and that's not his game. He is a big slot receiver. He's a versatile guy. He needs to line up all over the formation. They're just kind of throwing him out there on an island and saying, hey, Rook, go beat this corner with some shadow coverage coming his way. So I'm still going to Ibuka. I'm a fan of Baker Mayfield. I think Baker has a big game here in one of the next couple weeks. Ibuka's been great. First 5 weeks, Ibuka was a top 5 receiver, and then the last 7 weeks, he's been like wide receiver 40-something. So it's rough. Yeah, so I'm caught up to the chat. I'll stick around and answer a few more questions. My dogs are crying, and I really have to pee. Those of you in here that are not in the Patreon, hop in there. Say what up. Shout out to the crew, man. Appreciate all you guys for helping me out and keeping the lights on here 7 days a week, gentlemen. Titan style. I highly recommend you hop in here. Get in the Discord, man. Access to the bets. I had a rough week this week, 6-4 on the player props. We were 6-1. We lost our last 3 bets. A little bit of a losing streak here, but 66-36 in the year. So you get access to these bets as I make them, get the odds I get. And here's Helen Hunt. Say hello to Helen. Hi, Helen. Anyways, a lot of good perks, man. Want to play fantasy leagues with us, community fantasy leagues. Next year, 2026, I will be paying for 1 entry per league randomly. If you want to get in those, play against me and Storey, against Big Ray, guest appearances in the podcast. If you can talk decent enough, ball, why not come on the show? I usually have at least 1 guest on per week. That could be you. Free merch giveaways. You like the hat I'm wearing? You want this, baby? You want this? We're going to get some t-shirts coming up here. Some Meat Sweat t-shirts. Going to be great. Bills fan, last question. Should I drop Boswell for Fairbairn? 100%. Boswell, that offense ain't moving, and he's got to kick in some shitty-ass weather games. Give me Fairbairn in a dome. Also, all the information, professionalfanatics.com or in the description for the Patreon. I'll get you in the Discord. Come talk ball with me, Mouth, Storey, Ray, Blake, Mark, number 1 superfan, Mark, my dude. Want to do my chem homework for me? No, bro. Can't do that one, man. I'm not good at chemistry. That was one of my weakest subjects. I did not like it. My teacher, I had 2 teachers. I actually took a college chem class too, which was a big mistake. I went to about 4 classes and I just dropped out of that shit. So Fuck that. Michael, all good, man. Like I said, it's optional, man. I'm trying to get the word out there, man. I love having you in here. I would never say if you're not in the Patreon, you can't be on the show. Don't comment. I answer everyone's comments equally. So literally no pressure on that at all. Just, trying to get through these times, these trying times, where I can't work. If I'm going to do this show 25 hours a week live, 20 hours a week live, I can't work. Because also I'm putting 25 hours a week in terms of research, all the fantasy leagues, the bets, you name it. It's a full-time job for me. So I understand it's going to be eating ramen noodles for a while. And that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I'll be drinking Busch Light for a while. How about that? For a couple years until this gets taken off. And I'm fine with that. So, Michael, I'll get you in there. You've been a really, really awesome dude. So I'm going to get you in there. Michael, drop a comment on one of my videos if you want. And give me your email or something. I'll hook you up. Yeah, it is only $2 a month to get in the Patreon, but I get it, man. If that, I understand. It's no big deal. All right, that's it for me, gentlemen. Tomorrow night we're gonna have Big Ray on, Meat Sweats on, and then Wednesday we're gonna have a double header here with Chaz and Ben coming on for our Panic Meter segments. Bunch of good stuff there. Haven't seen Ben in a couple weeks. Haven't seen Chaz in a couple weeks either. He's been on spring break from school, or not spring break, Thanksgiving break from school, and I guess he didn't bring his laptop or some shit. So Broncos D or Browns D. I think it's Browns D this week. All right, gentlemen. Any other questions? If you're in the Discord, just drop them there. I'll be on there for a little bit tonight. So love you guys, man. Stay positive. Love your life. Respect each other. Out of here.